Stepping off the plane in the land of the Filipinas, hearts racing fast as we search for a defense. Beautiful women with smiles that can light up the night, ready to show us love and make everything right. Filipino women so caring and sweet, taking care of them and then making life complete. Family oriented, love that never ends. In the Philippines, where happiness begins. Strolling down the streets under the Manila moon, hand in hand with my Filipina babe, feeling like a cocoon. Beauty is unmatched, her energy is pure fire. In her arms I feel safe, my burning desire. From the beaches of Boracay to the hills of Baku, with the Filipino queen I never want to let go. Her love is like a treasure, gem I hold dear. In the arms of a Filipino there is nothing to fear.
A Scotty regular guy, he came to the Philippines thinking he could take advantage of the innocent dreams, soliciting the Filipinas for sex, disrespecting their pride, zooming in on their bodies, feeding sick foreigners' desires. A Scotty regular guy, you better watch your back. Disrespecting the Filipinas, you're on the wrong track. Deportation or jail time, you're facing the consequence. Violating safe space and soliciting laws, you're on thin ice, no defense. Belittling the Filipinas, exploiting their beauty, making videos for profit, it's a shameful duty. Scotty thought he could get away with his crimes, but the law caught up to him, now he's doing time. Scotty regular guy, you better watch back. Disrespecting the Filipinas, you're on the wrong track. Deportation or jail time, you're facing the consequence. Violating safe space and soliciting laws, you're on thin ice, no defense. In a foreign land, you must show respect. Exploiting women for pleasure, you're just a reject. Scotty regular guy, got what you deserve, paying the price for your action.
Stepping into the Philippines, feeling like a G, but my actions ain't cool.
What's going on?
Disrespecting the lady.
First of all, before I get started, I want to make sure that you guys can hear me, so if you can get a twos or one there. A couple ones if you guys can hear me.
What you doing now? Exploiting
So,
these
if you
women,
can.
disrespecting how Filipinos deserve better. No need for
Have
your
a comment and
games.
stuff like that.
I could pull it and up in chains. Oh, got sick foreigners hitting
got one, all right, perfect.
men
Oh,
in
we-
the show. Zooming on their bodies, let the videos flow. But I can't keep doing this, it's morally wrong.
Pretty good fun,
Gotta
isn't it?
change my ways before it's too long.
I even have, what do you call this thing?
Can't escape the fate.
I even have,
non-college educated,
there you go. This is my red flag, my Filipino red flag song.
family, always asking for that money, thirst trapping on social media, acting all funny. Avoid the ones who dated other foreigners
Anyway,
before.
let's just go ahead and remove that. Yeah, so just want to say this up to you guys. See who's in the house right now. You guys been already in the chat since earlier, so just have a discussion. Yes, I think CD Marcy, I saw your comment Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna open up I'm gonna cam up the session. We're gonna turn it on and stuff like that. Let me see if I got an email from someone that I was expecting. If they would answer back. No, the person did not answer. No, it's not Scotty. Okay, I just want to point that out to you guys. The email that I was looking at, or I was looking for. We'll say that. But yeah, you know what? We don't have to have just the discussion on that. We can have other things that we can have a conversation about in a way. If you guys want to do that, that's a good thing as well. Here. All right, perfect. So, anyways, what we got? David's in the house. SR Williams. Hey, you know, we can always bring out the popcorn if you want to bring out the popcorn. David Doe, Edgardo, ¿cómo estás? But, you know, I want to welcome, because, you know, we had a huge amount of guys commenting on the past few videos. LSW, what's going on, man? How's South America doing for you? So yes, CD, I will open up. No, that's not your comment. You made a comment down there. Mike from our Philippine Journeys here. Check out his channel. Thomas, Louisville, Kentucky. AJ's in the house. Shaquille's in the house. Dave's in the house. Truth Finder says the foreigners need lessons on how to assimilate and blend in and do not harm while they are in the Philippines. I agree. I agree to that. Tony Manning's in the house. Farsight's in the house. But what I want to kind of do is, you know, I'm gonna kind of pivot away a little bit from good old Scotty boy. There is one thing I do want to see. Let me see if I can find it. Is this it right here? It is. It is. Okay. Screenshot 2024. Let me make sure I upload these two photos here first before I get into this whole thing. All right. Oh, snap. That wouldn't allow me. But so, you know, because a lot of people, you know, have this thing where like, okay, like, it's not like the Philippine government doesn't do anything. They don't really be capturing people. I just want to let you guys know they are. It's just a lot of you guys only go through these type of things, these areas, right? These streets of the niche that we're in. That's where you get your information from. But a far majority of these people are saying that, oh, they don't really prosecute. They don't really go after these foreigners. The foreigners are something that they don't want to deal with. No, they want to deal with the foreigners because that brings them views. That brings these guys to be able to look better than saying, I'm protecting the country. And then you have other individuals says, oh, they're only after foreigners, not Filipinos. The Filipinos get away. That's false also. False limiting beliefs, unfortunately, that occurs. Okay. It's just the truth on what goes on. So what I want to kind of do, because somebody was asking about this, let me go ahead and where's my share? Present, share screen. Not that. There we go. So here's a perfect example of things occurring. Okay. Let me close some windows here first. Okay. So this is just April 18th. And then just a few days before, 4 or 5 days ago, there was another 3 people that were caught in the Philippines as well. And there is this thing happening where they're starting to say that there's an uptick an uptick of foreigners coming to the Philippines. Okay. An uptick of foreigners coming to the Philippines who are, in a way, going to be engaging in these bad behaviors. We know that they do exist. We know that they are coming. But we also know that there's more people that are being pushed, more people that are being able to find that let's go to the Philippines because of a lot of content that's being put out there. So it says here 3 more Americans were barred from entering the country due to their record as convicted sex offenders. The Bureau of Immigration Commissioner Norman Tancinco said that BI officers at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport intercepted the aliens separately at Terminals 1 and 3 of the NAIA Airport on April 11 and 14 when they arrived and sought admission into the country as tourists. The first excluded passenger was identified as Edgar Javier Manalan Sanz, who was 74 years of age, who arrived April 11th at Terminal 3 through Cathay Pacific flight from Hong Kong. The U.S. Embassy informed the BI that Manalan San was convicted by a court in Illinois for aggravated sexual assault against a 60-year-old woman. And he's from Streamwood, Illinois. And guess what? He's Filipino. Okay? He's Filipino. And he got denied entry into the Philippines. On the same day, Jose Gonzalez Jr., 64, was denied entry at the NAIA 1 terminal after he arrived aboard a Philippine airline flight from New York. The government said Gonzalez has been on America's most wanted list since 2015 due to a string of criminal cases, including cocaine possession, theft, grand larceny, loaded weapon possessions, kidnapping, and 2 rape cases on the first degree. Okay? They're stopping people. There are people that's able to, as they say in the Philippines, lumusot, able to kind of unfortunately get through. On the 14th, the BI officers at NAIA intercepted the turned away 46-year-old Daniel Nevares, who arrived via a United Airlines flight from Guam. Nevares, according to the U.S. government, was convicted by a U.S. court in 2013 on 7 counts for the crime of engaging in lewd and lascivious acts against children 14 and 15. Were they arrested? No, they were denied entry. Okay? They were denied entry. But the question is, there's going to be a but on them being returned, because when they probably land, somebody will probably be there ready for them. People are thinking that they can actually sneak in to the Philippines. Okay? It's no difference than some of those people, like good old Kuya John, who just admitted that Auntie Jessie is staying in the Philippines illegally. And was pretty much all talk with a lawsuit. He even knew that before he was saying that he was going to sue me. Can you believe that? Kuya John was lying, saying, oh, we're going to sue you. But then at the same time, at the very same moment, he knew he wasn't because Auntie Jessie told him no. People are getting mad and upset. And I'm sorry. I hate to say that, too bad. It is what it is. It's no difference than, for example, if you guys remember this dude right here, Foggy German guy. He's still in jail until this very moment, and he has not even had his day in court. He hasn't had his day in court, Mr. Good old Foggy German boy. Videotaping himself, doing lascivious acts. Like, people don't think that this is going to happen. And yes, I'm going to go ahead and put it. We made the definition the other day, right? We talked about the definition of what prostitution is in the Philippines. We had this conversation. What's a prostitute in the Philippines? For the purpose of this article, women who for money or profit, habitually indulge in sexual intercourse or lascivious conduct are deemed to be prostitutes in the Philippines. So when you start talking about bananas in pajamas and all that stuff up, see, it's funny. Like, this is the thing where women don't want to be accountable for their actions, and men don't want to be accountable for their own actions as well. And the guys are out there protecting. And listen, like, you can be like, I like Scotty's Travel Channel. Respect. He's a great storyteller. I never denied any of that stuff. I never denied any of that. Like, some guy commented, well, you see, he says, I just don't want to see expats get thrown to jail. So then you tolerate it? Look, you don't have to report if you don't want to, but don't be like, I just don't want to see him go to jail. Like, it's funny how that kind of works out. At this very moment, okay, there is one foreigner in the Philippines right now that's accumulating virality in the Philippines. And Filipinos are upset. Filipinos are seeing it. I showed another lawyer who did a TikTok yesterday on my video, where he was talking about this said vlogger. It's not about, oh, Michael, you're racist against white people, you're racist against black people, you're racist against Latinos, you're racist against Filipinos. I mean, damn. But that doesn't mean it needs to be talked about. Because remember, I was telling you guys that the dominoes are crumbling. Slowly and surely, your value as a foreigner, as an Afam, your value, we can even say as an American, an Australian, because everyone gets called Kano anyways, it's dropping. It's dropping in the Philippines because there's more options for them. Like, let me go ahead and I'm going to make another video about this to explain it fully, but I'm going to give you the basic breakdown. Like, don't you know that in the Philippines, but far majority women make more money than men? It's true stats. Women, by far average, make more money than their male counterparts. And in the Philippines, it is also known that a lot of women will, because they make more money, take care of their man more. It's more prominent where it's a 50-50 assistance with each other in a household. There is lesser Filipinos that gets taken care of by their men, that they only stay at home. Smaller percentile. So that generates a problem because by far average, foreigners want to find a Filipina who they take care of because that's what they want to do, and respect to that. But then the percentage for you is a problem because you have a higher percentile that you might actually find yourself a bad woman in the Philippines because they are more likely held at less value because they cannot provide. It's just the truth. That's what we keep on talking about is like, why is it that foreigners are accepting the rejects of the Filipino men? By far average, by far majority. Now, listen, I didn't say all. I didn't say all. But just by far majority. So at the same time as for you, it may not be the Filipina that you're with. But we need to look at what's the highest potential return on your investment of your time, of your money, on whatever that you're doing. Plain and simple. So who's this particular vlogger that's gaining speed in the Philippines right now? But because if you guys watched my video yesterday, the part where the part 2 where I was talking about all these comments, and I shared that lawyer stuff. Well, it's this gentleman right here. Let me share my screen here. His name is Austin Chucks. He's been going viral in the Philippines for the past week and a half or so. And if we start looking at his content, you're going to start seeing some similarities because of what the foreigners are wanting to see and hear based on just looking at a lot of these other Filipina prosty channels. Do you want boom boom? Do you want foreigner banana? Do you want to be a foreigner slave? How does just look at, are these lascivious acts of questioning? Can this offend? I'm not saying like some of these girls are probably going with the flow of the conversation, but that does not mean that people will not get offended if watching it. And once again, the Philippines is completely different. It is just like that lawyer stated, it is not your country. There is still some conservative systems happening in the Philippines. Hence, divorce is still not allowed in the Philippines. Like, people need to know how things can happen. But a lot of people think that it can be done because other people are doing it. It's the craziest matrix. It's worse than America. Like, all these people, like, I'm running away from the matrix. I'm getting away from the rat race. No, you're arriving to a different matrix. Does she want a BBC? Have you ever farted during sex? It says here. Spits or swallows? Curved or straight dick? Now, are there Filipinos who maybe make these type of contents? Yes. But Michael, why can they get away? I hate when people say, well, the Filipinos do it. The Filipina vloggers do it. Why are we getting affected by this? Because you ain't Filipino. Just accept it. I messaged this guy and I said, hey, I want to have a conversation because You going viral, son. And also, he just got demonetized. His channel got demonetized because there was enough complaints at it. So don't have this thing where like, oh my God, I'm a foreigner. It doesn't apply to me. Oh my God, I'm a foreigner. I'm not going to get affected by this. No, plenty of foreigners have gone down on these things, and you have to be ready for it. Like the fact that we're talking about, like people get upset. No, this is an education time for Scotty. This is like, yo, hit the factory reset. Yo, Scotty, keep on. Like, listen, here's my thing. These could be potential things that happens. Can it happen to him? Sure. Or no. Right? Sure or no. Keep on doing what you're doing if you want to. These other channels should keep on doing what they want to do. I'm not a person to say change. I'm just saying these are things that you might face. And there's people out there who's already doing things and saying things and reporting things. So in the end, like stop this whole thing like, well, I can't believe this happened to me. No. Some of these people are like, I can't believe it got canceled. It can happen. And so, and then of course, and like I said, I told in my videos, I'm not calling Scotty a pedo like other people are and stuff like that. I'm just basing like, these are the things that could happen. These are the laws that he could potentially break. These are the things that could potentially happen to him next. All right. It's not hating. He doesn't have to listen to me because, like people say, what do I know? I'm just a Mexican who needs to go back to the border. That's what people say. What does Michael know? I don't know. You don't have to believe me. Some people say, well, he took the video down and he apologized for the video for what he did. The lascivious act? Or did he what did he apologize? What did he apologize for? Oh, let's look at the apology. Okay. So let's go ahead. Because I respect the fact that he made this comment on my first video. And he says, my 2 cents, Scotty says. I was wrong, he says. Scotty said he was wrong. He admits that he was wrong, I guess, right? I was wrong and since then have become more conservative. Since he made that video about let me see the boobs, how many people can say that his videos, after that video got shown on his live, that his video became more conservative? It wasn't more conservative. Like, this is my thing. It's like, half-assed apologies. He says, drinking was at play. Oh, so now we're going to blame the alcohol. Drinking was at play a lot. And since then, I've cut drinking by 95%. So hold on. You cut your drinking by 95%. So that drinking that day, how much did you drink that day? And what he said was this: sorry if I offended any viewers. He wasn't sorry for what he did, the action that he does. He wasn't sorry on the videos that he takes. He's just sorry to the viewers. That's what it was. But I'm not gonna lie. So what did I say to him? I said, listen. What my response was, Scotty, we talked about this a while back, bro, and you stating you being conservative did not show. But if you want to cam up, I'll gladly welcome it, and we can discuss this in a constructive way. And I said, remember, it's not about offending the viewers. It's how the treatment of Filipinas or the locals and the laws. Why apologize to the viewers? You see what I mean? And then I pinned it, and then he erased the he took back his apology. Because the apology wasn't there. He's not. That's the thing. He's not going to apologize to the women that he did it to. Plain and simple. Somebody called me a hypocrite because I interviewed him, and then now I'm saying this stuff. That's not definition of hypocrisy. Like, there's some people that, and listen, like I said, the ones that are going to show are the ones that are going to be making these defenses. I'm not against his travel videos. A lot of people has always asked me to jump in the game. I have not touched. I said, listen, Scotty. Time, let it be. He's going to get himself caught. Never jumped into the situation. Even out of the blue, he called me a troll in his channel. I still didn't jump in. But people started asking me, what's my thoughts on this situation? I'm getting challenged. I'm getting hit. But the funny part is, I'm not the one who first started talking about this. People ask me a question, so I'm going to answer it. But at least I'm coming in. At least I'm coming into the whole thing, right? In an outside space and talking about what are the potential violations. And we've discussed that plainly. Oh, Pablo, just come along to the Philippine Journey channel. Joe named Michael says, don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Oh, don't tell Scotty. Shit, Fiona was fine, man. Fiona. So anyways, let's see here. Yeah, let's just go ahead and open up I just want to hear what you guys' thoughts are. It doesn't have to be about Scotty. If you guys want to have a discussion or anything, I welcome anybody who wants to challenge me on something. That's perfectly fine as well. Comment section, paste. So there's the link to the good old, if you guys want to cam up, have any questions, turn on that camera. Yeah, I turn it off by now. Jerbork, what's up? Chippy Weesk, what's up? Who's down for all you can eat at Golden Corral? Yo. What was so there's Golden Corral now, right? But what was that one Hometown Buffet? That was the original, right? Hometown Buffet. But there's this Southern Buffet close by. I shit you not. Best breakfast ever. I'm talking about everything. Then when lunch comes, they bring in like Southern comfort food lunch as well. But then they bring out the Puerto Rican twist with the, oh, good stuff. Oh, I don't have the chicken here right now. I don't have that video here. Michael. Do I need to be a subscriber to access to the Discord? No, you just go to Discord and then you have to link your YouTube that you use here to your Discord. What's up, Mike Ray? Mahalo. SR says our Philippine journey, eat finger food. That's what I'm doing. Oh man, I was having chicken. I was having me some chicken. But yeah, if some of you guys want to cam up, ask any question, whatever, we'll do it. And he says, please report me to BNP and NBI. Show them my report Andy. CD's in the house. What's up, CD? Just give me a second, buddy, okay? Which one's which is this? I think this is it right here. There you go. What's up, man?
Hey, hi there.
Dude, last time you had a better video going on.
I'm using a different laptop.
Okay, got it.
My good one's at work, so I'm using my.
Roger that. I know. I was like, wait a minute, what happened? I was like,
well, it's not that bad. I mean, I do look a little fuzzy, but well, at my age, I look a little bit better with a little fuzz on the. So
you know,
that's
how it is. So what's going on, man?
We're talking about bad boys tonight.
We can if that's something you want to talk about.
Oh,
what's your thoughts about
people behaving badly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I think you were just trying to help them out, weren't you?
What I'm saying is, because I've been telling them, I've told them in the side already before. I said, bro, you need to calm that stuff down. What you're doing. I was like, it's gonna get to the point that people are gonna say stuff, and I told them that. I said, listen, man, you know, there's certain things that you're doing that honestly is really irking, and the last thing you want to do is do that. And I kept my mouth shut. He just kept on doing it. I mean, even like I said, he called me a troll on his channel, like, and of course, I think he fed off by somebody making a comment, so he did say it. That was like what, 9 months ago. But you know, everyone's been putting this stuff up, and people want to ask me what my thought is. I'm saying, like, these are the laws that you're breaking, right? And if Filipinos start really going after it on you, and that's the thing, if because like I showed that one guy who's being they're going after him the past week and a half, and this guy might not leave the Philippines without getting arrested.
Well, I think a lot of those guys are well, they're pushing the limits, and seems like maybe the government's starting to decide, well, maybe we should nail some of them. So now they got, what's his name, World Zoom Paul. He's in the Who's Gal, and they're going to send him out of town. And I believe he already actually paid for all his crimes and all. I think they just want to get rid of him. And Scotty, well, I watched a lot of his videos, and most of them are usually pretty vanilla, but he does go off sometimes. Sometimes I think his skull's a little thicker than his brain, but because I don't think he thinks through a lot of things. He just kind of goes with it, you know, off the cuff.
Yes. I think that sometimes, you know, this is my opinion. I'm not saying, you know, people can take it as it is, but I think he has some either some social awkward stuff where he's awkward among people. He always had that, but because for some reason, Philippines kind of gives a lot of guys this extra thump that they can become different, that they can change, that they can recreate themselves sometimes. Yeah. But eventually that kind of shows up a little bit, and then you add alcohol to his system.
Yeah,
no longer a happy thing.
Yeah. When I was in the Navy, and that was in the 70s, you know, we thought we owned the place, you know, going crazy, you know, just drinking in the streets and throwing stuff and hey, baby, and just going off like maniacs. Of course, I was like 17, but still, we definitely thought we owned the place. And I actually got arrested by the Philippine National Police once. I got caught in the alley in my underwear after curfew. Good
That's not
story
good.
there. Lots of booze involved with that one. But yeah, so a lot of these guys, I mean, I watch all these, I look at all these channels. Some of them I just turn off after a few minutes because some of these guys, they're directly catering to the lower denomination. They're looking for the smut and the girls and the hookers and the craziness. And, you know, I have to admit, sometimes it's entertaining, but it's not very smart. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's entertainment. I get the entertainment side of it. And
Yeah.
so what's funny is, you know, my commentary the past couple of videos, right? And my first videos I called it, I'm like, there's gonna be people gonna be coming out, right? I know for a fact there's people, you know, who watches my channel that watches Scotty's channel, whether it's for entertainment purpose, whether it's for whatever. I get that. But they don't get upset. They're like, you know, I'm not that guy, Mike, so you know, I don't need to qualify myself. I'm not upset. But then you see the guys who do get upset, who then becomes the defenders. Then you start saying, like, why did it offend you?
Yeah.
So so that's why I'm like saying, it's like, you know, even my me speaking to a lawyer, for example, me doing the interview with a lawyer, a good lawyer, a famous lawyer, and then, you know, she talks about 18 is the cut in regards for consent for sex for an adult. And somebody just jumps in, some old guy jumps in, like, no, it's 12 to 16.
12? Since when has it been 12?
It was raised from 12 to 16 by Duterte, right?
Oh,
And
wow,
because a lot of these guys hear that, they think that it is. And so there's a part of that 16 year, or even when it was 12 then, that was part of the law. Meaning there has to be a 3-year difference. So if somebody who was 12 can only give technical consent to someone who is 3 years her senior. So some of these guys are like, well, you know, she's 12, so then you can't. No. It has to be within 3 years. Even with the new law right now as we speak, if somebody who is 16, 3 years her senior is what it is. It has to be within 3 years. And so people need to understand how the law works. But these guys, here's any form of wiggle room, they want to wiggle themselves in.
Well, that's why they go to the Philippines, for the girls, for the baby-roonies.
Yeah, and that's just like, listen, he can, you know, like a lot of people get annoyed with Scott, how he uses those certain terms, baby-roonies and all those things.
I know, it's so stupid.
It doesn't piss me off because I you know, it's just like, okay, whatever. If that's your vocabulary, that, you know, but it annoys other people. I'm like, it is what it is, right?
Well, it either ends in Aruni or Areno. Most of the stuff he's saying, it's Areno or Arini or one of those. Anyway, but he's like a Ned Flanders kind of a guy. But you know, I was in my feed a Philly in the Philippines video, and the title on the thumbnail was "Beating My Meat and Eating the Heat." So I went, "What the hell is that?" So I didn't even bother to open it, but you know, it's titles like that. I mean, come on, beating the meat.
But at the very same time, if that was Philly, right? More than likely, if you watch that video, his wife is probably, you know, tenderizing you know, a piece of meat, right, while it's really hot. Like I get how Philly sometimes, you know, how Philly has changed. You know, before Philly had some of his stuff when he did a lot more of those walking street videos, and so I can see that stuff. But I mean, he has changed his ways. He just knows how to use, you know, the title stuff. So respect to what he does for that. But one thing that we know is if Scotty says something like Muslim with boobs that mad at me and stuff like that, there's gonna be a Muslim girl with boobs that's zoomed in that's mad at him, right? So, you know, just paraphrasing here, but that's the thing right there. So he is giving what his people wants to hear and see, okay? Because a lot of these guys, they want to have that, how would you say, you know, fantasy that, okay, that's how I'm going to act when I get to the Philippines, because they think it works. That's the problem. There's going to be guys coming in, be like, well, it works for Scotty, so I'm going to act that way too. So you're going to have some guys coming to the Philippines. 10
It
pesos to
doesn't,
see your boobs, please.
it doesn't work for him. I've never seen him score a girl ever on any of his videos. So his shtick isn't working. I mean, otherwise, I imagine if he did actually ever get a girl to spend any time with him, he'd probably have a big video about that. So I've never, he's always standoffish. He's more like a voyeur,
And
He
that's
glides in
exactly
and
what I
glides out,
say.
Huh?
He does have voyeuristic content,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
feeds to a lot of these guys who wants those voyeuristic content.
Well, what cracks me up is, when you're just watching his videos and he's walking down the street, and if he goes by a girl, it'll suddenly freeze frame on the girl, and then he plays some stupid music or something. And usually the girl's looking at him like, what the hell? So, but he does it. Sometimes it's several times during the video. He's zooming in, and I always find that kind of humorous. But I don't mind his videos.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? There's everyone takes it differently. There's people that take it as entertainment. It's like sometimes people watch it to get annoyed. Like there's guys that I know who gets annoyed by him, but will watch the videos. It's no different than I have guys who don't like me who can tell my story sometimes because they want to watch every second of my video to think that they can find something on me, so so it's just hilarious how it kind of goes, which is fine. But then, like I said, it also attracts those guys who are really into that voyeuristic type of content. They need that type of content because that's what they need and that's what they're hoping they're going to have. And we're starting to see that. I mean, like I showed that one video guy of that one passport bro, whatever, that's getting in trouble in the Philippines right now, who just got demonetized and all that stuff. Well, for him the big challenge that he has at this very moment is, if you look at his content, he literally is just giving what people want to hear, right? He wants to, and it's no difference than a lot of these Filipino vloggers. And I'm not going to just shy off from the Filipino vloggers and say that, I'm sorry. Technically like I said, and I described the definition of prostitution in the Philippines, they are prostituting themselves because they are making money from it by using lascivious stuff. I mean, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
You can't get
I think it seems like, from what I've seen, that from your videos and others, and some other stories I've read, that they're going to start cracking down more on some of this lascivious videos. Except I don't think they go out to, because some of the worst ones actually are the Filipina girls with their banana videos and the what I like to do in the sack videos and all that, and I mean, how to make me scream videos, and this was it.
You mean these ones right here?
Yeah, they're just like, geez, how to get my feet up in the air, how to get a Filipino to bend over and take it, all these ridiculous titles. And I just look at them and go, oh man. So they're hilarious. But then when you watch them, they're pretty graphic. They do not hold back. But they're not going to go after them, the Filipinas, because they're not. They're just spewing off pornographic content.
But see, that's the thing, right? It's eventually going to get there. They're going to get found, and it's going to happen, and they're going to go after them. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hear people just have no accountability and be like, "But I'm just trying to feed my family." Okay, I get it. So do drug dealers, so do other people that does illegal things. But eventually get caught. You get caught. So it's
go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, the thing is, it's like television, If you look at television, there's really nothing new. It's the same, cops, lawyers, doctors, lawyers, doctors. And if YouTube's pretty much became the same thing. I mean, how many videos of jungles and seascapes and sorry stores? I mean, so they're hey, there you go. They're just reaching to try to find something to draw into views, because it's all pretty much all been said a million times.
Yep.
Isn't that right?
But see, even though it's said a million times or whatever, how many times it is, I think that what's important is that you come up with an extra twist to it or an extra side to things, right? But we all know it's like for a lot of these Filipino vloggers, for example, they'll have, once somebody creates a title and it does good, they're gonna use the same title and they're gonna put the same exact. And at the same time, is they'll even bring the girl from the previous video to their video and talk about it as well. So that's what ends up happening. Hey, Mike, you got anything to add to this?
I think with Scotty, he's going to get in trouble sooner or later, one way or the other. Either he's going to piss somebody off locally, and the people are going to be upset or look at his content one way or the other, and it's going to get him in trouble. Whether he is or isn't doing it on purpose, whether he's doing it for the views or not, that's irrelevant. It's happening. And it's going to be a sad thing for a guy that could have possibly done very well. His storytelling is very good. He's articulate. He's able to stay on track of his story. He doesn't bounce all over the place. But when he does lives, and I will tell you right now, when he does lives, let me turn that off. His subscribers drive his live, not Scotty. It's all about what his subscribers are saying. Hey, look at this. Hey, do that. When Scotty did that live at Phillies, and when he was talking to the young girl, and I don't know that she was underage or anything like that, but she wasn't an old lady. When he was speaking with him, it was his subscribers that kept pushing him and pushing him. Show her boobs, feel her boobs. Ask her this, ask her that. I don't know what kind of a teacher he was, but it does strike me strange when the crowd can push the teacher in a certain direction. I mean, we have a couple of teachers in the family, and I can tell you the kids don't rule the teacher. They don't do that. So I don't know, but he's going to get himself in trouble.
Well, he said on his videos that this is his only income now. And you got to figure, if you think about how much money he's spending, I mean, he's spending every night in a hotel or motel or whatever, and all of his expenses. So, and he's I think he's got like 40,000 subscribers, I think. And I guess he gets decent views, but I would imagine he's got a decent outlay of cash every month. So he might be, just desperate to get as many views as he can for money, maybe, because if that's his only source of income.
And that could be a problem, right? Because if that's your only source of income, then some people end up doing the things that they need to do for that, right? So it's like, like Mike, for example, can decide I'm not gonna make videos in a couple of weeks or whatever. I'm not gonna do this, whatever. Same thing with me. It's like I won't make a video for a week or 2 weeks sometimes and stuff like that, or just let it be or not. And so the problem is that's the thing. It's like sometimes when money's good and you're not really, you haven't really experienced money like that coming in, sometimes you end up bowing down to be able to get what that is. And so I think that's where he is. I think he wants to, and this is where I'm saying is like he has some social problems, because the fact that he tries to please these people, and I think he's a people pleaser to get the attention. So if that's what he's doing, then he's gonna get the same. And these people don't care as long as they get their fix, right? And if they're gonna use them to get their fix, then perfectly fine. It's no difference than that expat king. Everybody was mad and stuff like that when he left and stuff like that. Some of them try to blame me. I don't know, what did I do? But then all of a sudden they go to the next. They're like locusts, right? And then they go to Scotty, and then once Scotty's out of there, they're gonna find somebody else. Like they're gonna find their avenue in a way to get their basic fix of their needs. And if you know, and at the same time is maybe there is something that he's doing good. Maybe by him making these videos, some of these guys are not even traveling to the Philippines because they're getting their basic daily fix sometimes.
Well,
So
sometimes I think sometimes it is the subscribers get like that little shot of euphoria when Scotty does what they push him to do. You know, they can like, look, I'm the one that told him to do that. It was my idea. I was the first. I'm the first. All right. It was my idea. And so they get a sense of self gratification, of importance. You know, like their cojones are bigger than everybody else's, or Scotty did what I told him to do. I've got the biggest Johnson.
or like some of these guys that all of a sudden, like, you know, either edify these a lot of these Filipino vloggers or hold them up to this high astound thing, and they say hello to them, and they're like, oh my god, they said hello to me. So it's like it's just the craziest thing, and it's just it's this continuous feed of back and forth that creates this narrative that's gonna cause problems later on for a lot of guys, because a lot of these guys, maybe they have 3, 4, 5 more years before they arrive to the Philippines or before they actually do the retirement, make a decision. When they land in the Philippines, it is not what it is. There's only going to, the truth is the percentile of success for a lot of people to come to the Philippines is not as big compared to what it is truly. Because if, Mike's been around, Angeles City, for example, you've seen the plethora of people of having failures in life, thinking that they move to Angeles City and it's going to happen good for them.
We see them, and it's a little bit sad, to be honest with you, and even some of the comments have already stated this, is that men come over here and fail, and you don't see that on YouTube. Very few YouTubers actually present the men that fail, and part of the reason for that is because they're antisocial a lot of times, or they're not in the same socioeconomic area, or they're not part of the type of lifestyle that succeeds. I mean, we have friends that live on Walking Street and succeed quite well. And we see people that come over and try and do that, and they fail miserably and leave. So, somebody.
I should actually be there right now. I planned on being there. I'd have actually been there for a couple of weeks if I'd have stuck to my original plan, but I had to put it off for a year because I bought a bunch of gold. But and I'm glad I did. But
did you buy the Costco gold? Did you buy Costco gold? Did you buy the Costco gold?
I bought from Walmart, actually, because they let you use a credit card, and I got 3% cash back when I bought it, so it's actually cheap. Well, but anyway, no, that's the reason I watch a lot of the videos, because I want to be there. So I don't watch them for the baby-roonies. I watch them for because I like this. I like Scotty's new videos because he's on a bike now, and you get to see a lot of scenery and a lot of different towns. And I like those in other videos, so that's why I watch them, because I want to be there. But I'm probably not going to be there till next February probably. So that's why I watch them. Though I don't mind seeing the baby-roonies, but that's not really why I watch it.
Well, but we're here. Arlen and I are here, and we watch YouTube all the time. Arlen watches a lot of Filipina and Filipino YouTube, and I don't watch much of that because almost all of the Filipina YouTube and Filipino YouTube that's out there are thirst traps. They're not, solid they're not solid information. And but
Mhm.
then I'm guilty of watching YouTube channels that aren't solid information, where there is an accusation and then there are continued assumptions about that accusation, and it all continues. So, it's entertainment. And I think people forget it's entertainment.
Have you ever watched Red Zone Mindanao? Mindanao?
Yes.
That guy, that guy is crazy. I mean, man, his videos are so off the wall. He's like a Alfred Hitchcock on LSD or something. I mean, he's just hilarious. I find him very entertaining though. But he did one a couple of days ago about how he's thinking about leaving the Philippines. It was like 30 minutes of him telling everybody how pissed off he is at the brownouts and this, and he was just really pissed. And the whole video was like just bitching and complaining. And then he came back the next day. Okay, I feel better now. And but
I
it's
know.
funny. Yeah.
Mike will tell you, something? The Philippines is going to be what you make of it. It is not going to be what you can turn it into. You can't change a culture by yourself. You can't change a society, and you can't change, as Scotty will find out, interpretation and law. People interpret what they see the way they want to interpret it. They said, hold on, CB, weren't you in law enforcement at one time? I think.
Yeah, I spent some. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a very good friend that's a lieutenant commander at a pretty large city in the U.S. Okay, back east. Um, he told me one time that they have to be so careful and so cautious because they can interview 5 people that were at the scene of a crime, that witnessed the crime, and all 5 of them may come up with a totally different viewpoint of that. I saw this and it's different than the other 4 and the other 3. And so people are like that, and there's not a lot you can do about it. It should be understood.
Well, it's no difference than when you go to court, right? It's like the guy is he innocent or is he guilty? There's going to be the defense. They're going to be like he's innocent, and they're going to create an argument, and they're going to be able to put something in place, and then each side is going to have their own different stories and stuff like that. And the people are complaining, like like for example with Scotty, he's like he has a video. I was like, no one's trash talking, nobody's making up anything. We're showing the video, and the people complain that he took it down. It doesn't matter. It still happened, and there's video that exists, and there's also that part. It's like unfortunately, you put it out there. If you put it out there, okay, then there's accountability for that. Now, here's the thing: if Scotty did not put out that video, let's say, for example, that's something that Scotty is in his private stash, right? And it's private stash. He never really put it out there. Somebody, I don't know, stole his phone, got that stuff. Okay, I can give him a pass a little bit, right? Because that was stolen from him, that was taken from him. But once you put it on public, come on. I'm like, so that's the thing.
No, you know what? When people put stuff in public, it is subject to opinion and review and discussion, period. And when that happens, you have no idea which direction that is going to go. You've got no idea how people are going to react to it, or interpret it or deal with it. It is what it is. I mean, we see so much. I can go 1 mile one direction from our condo and be in Sin City. I can go 1 mile another direction from our condo and I'm in middle to higher income Filipino families. I can go 3 miles and I can be in part of, two of the most affluent neighborhoods of all of Angeles City, outside of a couple of the Clark neighborhoods. Um,
Mhm.
so, I mean, it's a dichotomy. It is a melting pot of individuals. And so you have a melting pot of what's going on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, just like even from from the candy tower, if you go to the rooftop, restaurant, on one side you look, you'd be like, okay, those are good areas. On the right side, you can say, okay, no, I won't go there, right? And even if you look down from the rooftop, you're like, yeah, I won't cross that street right there because I'm probably
No,
not gonna make it. So
no,
it's like,
it's absolutely true. I mean, you can go to the rooftop and you can actually, it's funny, during the day, you can divide the rooftop itself. If you go
mm,
to the rooftop of Candy Palace, you've got the pool side and you've got the restaurant side. Okay. The pool side is generally a not a high income area. Let's just leave it like that. Okay. You've got a
so
lot.
is that where the girls are trying to clean themselves up in the pool during the day?
They're not bathing. They're not doing laundry. I promise. But
Got it.
what you've got is you've got the visiting girls. Oh, I came to see my friend. You've got the hungover friend. All right. Because he was out all night drinking, finding this girl that's visiting. All right. And then you've got the people that are actually, you know what? I just want to have a bite to eat and a little peace and quiet
Mm.
when the weather's nice.
I like the rooftop. It was pretty nice.
It's nice. You know what? For us, what makes it nice is it's 35, 40 feet to the elevator out
Mhm.
our door, and then push a button and I'm there.
Yeah, the only thing I have with Candy Tower is I don't know, I forgot which tower it is, right? But like you know how like some of the towers will I've only been to a couple towers where they have like a pool section, pool table and stuff like that, and the couches and stuff like that. It looks like a 1970s porno movie.
Yeah, it does.
That's what Candy Tower looks like to me. It's a 1970s porno movie.
Oh, come on, Mike. It's more like 1980s.
Fine, 19. Okay, fine. I'm sorry. 1980s with the marshmallow couches and stuff like that with the big reds. Like that's the one I'm like I walked with it because I stayed in Candy for a couple of days, and I'm just like, okay. I was like, this is pretty interesting to me. So, I mean, but then you say ABC, then that's a more year 2000 porno type of type of a place, right? So,
You know what? ABC is a great facility.
oh, it is. I
It
love
is
it.
absolutely a great facility.
You know,
We've stayed in one of the penthouses at ABC once for about a week back in, I don't know, 2017, something like that. Before we moved, we came and spent a week up here and we stayed there. Great craftsmanship, good solid work. I mean, the old Dutchman had his shit together when he built that place.
Yeah, the son is a pretty cool guy. He's a very party-ish person, though. I met him a couple times and stuff like that. Met the old man once. But it's a nice place. I like ABC. I'll always stay at ABC when I'm in that area.
you know
Can't
what?
say no to it.
I'm surprised. I'm looking at the comments here. When I used to be on a lot of Phillies. I did several of his live streams, and I always had all kinds of people going off on me, calling me all kinds of this and that. But nobody said anything about me on this at all. So I'm kind of surprised. Usually, especially Omar. Isn't Andy Omar? He hates me. I was like, so.
And he's there. But I mean, like, even like but that our comment section, I guess, is pretty reserved. Like this comment section here is pretty reserved and stuff like that. We don't really, because the thing though is here is like people get called out. Like
Yeah.
when some people like go crazy, I'll be like, "Come up, I'm gonna," So we don't go off the rail too much. I think every now and then. I
Yeah.
think a lot of like the trolls are kind of don't even bother messing here too much because either everyone will just jump on them pretty much, and it's self governing, you can say.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that happens in this stuff.
Yeah, Andy's in Manila for the weekend, so he's popping in and out. He's enjoying
another guy.
some time off in Manila for the weekend.
The best one is when we jumped all over. What was his name? Sexy Grandpa. Oh boy, that was a barn burner.
I don't know who was sexy grandpa.
Oh,
Actually, CD, weren't you there when I was when I camped up with Auntie Jessie?
yeah. When we were,
Yeah, you were there. You were there. Yeah, I remember that. You were there.
yeah. And
Kuya John did not like me.
yeah, no.
Kuya
He,
John's another one. Kuya John's in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I wish him the best of all success. And I do that because he's got a child to support that he
hasn't seen yet.
I agree.
He keeps on complaining that I put him down about his child, yet he hasn't seen his child since he arrived in the Philippines.
Well, he's got to take care of some other manly needs.
Finally,
before he sees his
manly
child.
needs. Manly needs? Did you say?
and then he tries to he meets up with Auntie Jessie. He meets up with Auntie Jessie to like whatever plan their revenge on me and stuff like that. And then he outs Auntie Jessie by saying that he's illegal because he met with.
But he's overstayed his visa or what?
I guess.
Well, he lives out in the sticks, so they probably don't even know where he is. I would imagine.
Probably can't make it. No, there's where he lives. There is there's a BIR satellite office close by. I think like 30 minutes away. I think it was.
Yeah, maybe he's paying him off.
It can't be that damn far in the sticks if John made it there to see him.
True, and you can do it online now.
Oh yeah, I guess you could have done that too. All right, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Actually, I've been thinking about taking a trip over there too, because I've been to Davao maybe in a couple of months. Like maybe go over there for a month. Huh? I'm thinking about that.
I mean, there's a lot of. I tell you, I right now for a lot of people, I've told a few guys this. The next Dumaguete is Surigao.
Ah.
You think so?
Oh, I know so. Oh,
really?
Yeah. Like if you
Surigao
like
City, Surigao.
No, not Surigao as the surfing capital of the Philippines now.
Okay.
Surigao, the place where all the voodoo aswangs are.
So it's the east side of Mindanao, right?
I want to go there.
No, the one in Mindanao is Surigao. Surigao is on the Visaya area. So that's where there's beautiful waterfalls. There's a lot of good stuff over there. And because of that whole voodoo stuff, a lot of people stayed away from it a lot. So then a lot of the, you can say, rich Filipinos never really fully moved in just because of that in a way. But now it's, the land is still cheap. I know for a fact Surigao is going to be where a lot of these guys are going to start moving to from Dumaguete. So 5 years from now, watch. There's gonna be people be like, I should have opened up some apartments there for these foreigners. So that would be the thing to do that.
Well, I just want to live in that.
So Mike, I'm looking in the comments and I see a comment from Philippines Bound says, this is the same guy, Mike, that was at the ABC Hotel 2 years ago, zooming in on Filipinas bikini. All those live streams are delighted, very convenient.
Good one.
Were you looking at women's asses at the pool?
No.
So hold on. So let's play this game. I zoomed in on the entertainment, and dance entertainers and all that stuff. So nice try on that as well. Next, there were some else that it zoomed into, and they were in our party. So nice try on that as well, because there's your answer for you. There's a big difference.
I
Those-
don't know,
those-
Mike. If it had been me and I was at ABC pool, and you know what? If it had been me and I was at any pool,
Mhm.
I would definitely be trying to get as good a picture of as many nice looking butts as I could, female butts.
So you're a butt man. You're admitting on live stream that you're a butt man.
You know what? There's not much of a woman I won't like.
I'm either or nowadays. Back in the days, I was top heavy, and then when you start dating Latinas, the Puerto Ricans, and all, and Colombians and Dominicans, then you became bottom heavy, and then eventually, you're just like either or will be fine, or you know what, just somebody good. In the end, he's like you if you always go lead yourself through those type of systems, you always find some toxic woman. I know that, for example. I know that for a fact. When you lead yourself towards like what gets you attracted in a woman, other than like, so that in the end for me, it's face now. I'm like, pretty face, that can bring me peace is the most happiest moments of my life. But back in the days when you're like, ooh, boobies, and then you go after the boobies, and then okay, she looks cute, you always find a toxica. So, I'm done with that stuff. I mean, like for example, Mog's here. Mog met my ex and stuff like that, and she was top heavy for a Filipina,
She had
right? Real.
She had
double
real
D's.
B-52s.
She had D's to double D's for a Filipina.
Real headlights, bristles.
So
bumpers.
Mog and I, we, Mog, Lee, and stuff like that. We met up in Baraka and stuff like that. And she's a really nice girl. She'll take care of you, and I'm talking about cook, whatever. Like, she was scared of the water, of the beach. That was weird for me for a Filipina. She couldn't swim, but other than that, good job. Was a marketing director for one of the there's 3 large casinos in the Philippines. One of them was her. She was in charge of the marketing there and stuff like that. But like I said, in the end, it's like just peace. I want peace. I don't want problems. But for that person that brought that up, I appreciate that you brought that up. What was his name? Philippines bound. Yeah. So I'm glad that you watched the video. But like I said, I don't do it where those people, the dancers and stuff like that was doing the fire dancers, like the 2 girls, or if it gets busy in ABC, there's 4 of them that dances in the bars. They do that for a living. They know that they're gonna get videotaped. They know that there's gonna be that stuff. So that's part of the entertainment. They know that stuff. So, but I'm not going there and saying, "Hey, show me your boobs." I didn't do that to those people. And if you're mad that I have a video of somebody, because if you're in the middle bar and in ABC, they have a pool, right, Mike? The pool, the bar pool, right? So the people that I was hanging out with that night, me and several friends of mine and stuff like that, the girls that were with us and stuff like that wanted to jump in the pool. Sorry.
Yeah. Now, something? All men, all people, it doesn't even have to be men. All people want to have fun. If you're somewhere and you're having fun, as long as your fun doesn't cross legality, it's fun. And you can argue morality all you want, but if a woman is at the pool in a bikini, all right, she wants to be seen in that bikini. Mm-hmm. She had her choice. She could be wearing shorts. She could be wearing this. And if she's entertainment, she had another choice. She didn't have to take the job. So either way.
And then there's another video just for fun. And a lot of you guys can look it up. Go find it. It's there. Right. So I was hanging with a friend of mine because I have this one video where this girl was driving me around in her SUV. and then we hung out over at, once again, the ABC rooftop as well. And she was, she was enjoying herself dancing. That's all I can say. She was enjoying herself dancing in the video. It's not my fault. I didn't go, hey, dance, monkey, dance. I didn't say that stuff. I said, hey, she was sitting across from me and she decided to sit next to me and dance in front of the camera. Is that my fault? I didn't try to do that. I didn't make her do that.
Yeah.
So,
You weren't sticking dollars in her G-string.
yeah, exactly. And a lot of guys were upset. They're like, how the heck do you find a Filipina who owns an SUV? And I'm like, there's plenty of Filipinas and Filipinos who owns cars and SUVs. It's like people were shocked at that during that live. Like they saw a mermaid because a Filipina owns her own SUV and she drove me around. It's like
Arlene and I were talking the other day, and she lives on Facebook like every other Filipina, and she brought me a story and said, you might want to think about this. And literally it was about an entire development that was corrupt. Everybody in this development was part of a huge corruption scamming range.
Mhm.
And I said, well, what's so interesting about that? I mean, it's nowhere near Angeles. It's nothing like that. And she goes, hey, you know something? Look at the development. Look at the houses. These houses are going for $1.5 million, 2 million pesos minimum, right? Up to 20, 30 million pesos. The Philippines are not broke.
yeah.
All right. They're just like America. There's a lot of people in America that aren't making a ton of money. And there's a lot of people in America that make good money. There's a lot of people here in the Philippines that make money. They're not broke.
I mean, just look at Priscilla Homes, for example, and
Oh my
see the hundreds of videos that of homes that they're selling. I mean, they have these houses in Quezon City worth 85 million pesos. These houses over at Antipolo overlooking the stuff and stuff like that for like 140 million pesos. Like, and guess what? No foreigner can buy that stuff. Only Filipinos. So it's surprising how that kind of works out. Harriet, I definitely see you, but you're gonna have to turn on your camera if you want to join this conversation.
Ah, yes. No icons.
Just to let you know, Harriet. So if you want to join, feel free to. We're gonna join you, but you have to go ahead and turn on your camera so I can see.
Yeah, we want to see what you look like. Let's see if she comes on.
All right.
Yankee Man made a interesting.
Okay. Let me bring on Harriet. See what she has to say.
Okay, there we
Harriet,
go.
Harriet, you
Wait,
can't turn off your camera. It has to be on.
Wait a
So
minute.
if I add you, your camera has to be on. You turned it on, so I'll turn it on once, as long as you have it on the whole time, or else you can't join.
Yeah.
We're not playing that game. Let's see here.
Oh, well. That was
Passport
it.
bros getting into trouble in the PH. I call passport bros anybody with a passport, any man with a passport coming to the Philippines. And Harriet left the building. Sorry, Harriet, that you didn't want to turn on your camera to join us. You did turn it on for a quick second,
She might
but
not
then
have
you
been,
left.
she might not have been presentable. So,
She looked presentable to me.
oh, you saw her. Well, that was.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that.
She turned on her camera, and so that's why I added her. Then all of a sudden she turned it off.
Oh.
So
Oh. Oh well, maybe she's shy.
maybe she is.
I don't know. But you know what? You can give her kudos for thinking of joining.
I know.
The first step. I mean, come on, Harriet.
Given a half-hearted attempt. Come on. What
Like
is
I'm
it?
hoping maybe Harriet is Kuya John's, baby mama. So-
Oh, that would be.
'cause
Why
it's
isn't
very-
Why isn't anybody
even-
else coming on? There's all
even
kinds of
if
people in the
Harriet-
chat. Why isn't anybody else joining the show? I wonder.
I don't know. People are probably driving, doing around and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Okay, Andy, just let you know. Let's try not to dox people, okay, man? Appreciate it, though.
Oh yeah,
Appreciate it though.
I saw a video of his. He was giving out Scott's address and home address in Canada and just everything but his
Hey,
shoe
look,
size.
Andy goes by the beat of his own drum and stuff like that. So God bless Andy for his own way. I do things a little bit differently.
I
He
do not.
does his own thing differently. So, and we can all agree to disagree on certain things, but
Yeah,
you
I do
know,
not find his videos and style appealing. Not at all.
well, a lot of people don't find my style appealing as well. Especially
Maybe
my hair.
It's
Yeah,
entertainment, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people forget that YouTube is a entertainment venue,
sure. Yeah,
or
yeah,
it's an informational venue, and there are many people that do both. They are informative and entertaining.
yeah.
So
But some of them are just repellent. They just some of them are trying real hard, but they just don't have any personality. They don't have any talent. They're just like, So it's like, oh
Well,
god, just kill
what's that
yourself.
monotone teacher, right? We all hated that monotone speaking teacher back in the day.
There's one I watched. It's called Ox Talks. He's a lawyer, and he talks about
I've never seen him.
finances and the government, and he's very informative. But he talks like this. I'm Andy.
Yeah.
It's like, after about 5 minutes, I just want to put a gun in my mouth watching.
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
But
Well,
he's
let me
very-
answer this. Let me answer this one. I still don't understand what RG has been accused of. Plain and simple. The you can say the accusation or whatever. What's being said is number one, Balo Bastos. He did it's a 113.13 that he can get it applied, and the next thing is he solicited sexual favors.
Oh.
You can even say with a prostitute on a video and posted it and monetized it and made money from it, which then can be used against him. And in addition to that, he's also making the Philippines look bad, which then a lot of Filipinos, once this starts gaining traction, can go after him. And because the thing though is they can hold you in the jail for a good amount of time before they even put anything against you. You don't want to deal with Filipino jail.
Yeah. Boy, it sounds like you just delivered an opening argument at a trial there, Mike.
Well, part 3 video is coming up, and there's a little bit more. So,
I'll be right back. I'm going to go make another pot of coffee. Be right back.
okay, Mike. No problem, man.
Another pot? Okay. Loading it up.
Hey, it's morning time,
They say
morning
you
time
should
for
buy
Mike.
coffee now because it's going to be really going up in price. I mean, really exorbitantly compared to other things. I saw
So
that.
what is?
Coffee is supposed to be something that's going to really be skyrocketing even more than other things that are inflationary. So buy coffee. Load up.
Unfortunately, coffee has been, inflated too much because of Starbucks and all that stuff. It's just, and the thing though is Starbucks they over roast their coffee, so I like a nice medium roast.
I've got. I wake up and I hit the floor with all cylinders firing. I don't really need coffee. I've got way too much energy. So yeah, if I drink coffee, I'm like even more hyper than I am normally. So I don't. Even
I need
touch
coffee.
it.
I need coffee, plain and simple. I need coffee. Like I stopped drinking like my favorite coffee, which is Cafe Bustelo. Love that coffee, but that gives me the jitters now. I don't know why. So I stopped doing that.
So no one else is coming on, huh?
Doesn't look like it. Hold on. Let me go answer.
What a bunch of Nancy boys.
Nah. It's the thing that is like, people want to have a conversation. We can have a conversation, but most people don't want to debate me. The ones the ones who tries to debate me on comment sections, they never come up. And some of them that
This
do,
isn't a debate. This is a lively discussion about the whole.
that's what I'm saying. A good discussion is always good.
We're not going on. Well, of course, some of those ones on Phillies, I was on. We were calling each other off, yelling at each other. Oh, kiss my ass! Ah! People. Yeah, I had a few good ones. So, yeah.
Oh, I've seen a few good ones in Philly.
Yeah, we had a good one. I left one of them. I just I had enough. Everybody was going off. I said, I had my fill of this, and I signed off for the evening.
Got it. So at the Corinne's in the house, I out there. I watch it for the sceneries. Like there's not 1,000 other channels on Philippine beaches and sceneries. She's like quoting someone who says I watch it for the sceneries. Didn't you say it's for the sceneries or something? So
Yeah.
So at the Corinne, for example, she's got her own channel as well, and British expat John tried to go after her.
I
But,
saw a video of his. He said he's not doing any. I saw a video. It was either yesterday or the day before yesterday. He said this is his last final thoughts, and then he spent. He spoke about you. Did you see it?
no, I stopped watching. He talked about me. Aw,
Yeah,
John.
he said, "Oh, that Mike guy, he was going off on me," and I don't remember exactly what he said, but it wasn't complimentary. And,
Oh, I'm
and
gonna have
then
to watch it.
These final thoughts, a bunch of people giving a bunch of crap, and I'm tired of this. Then he's made a few comments about Americans, naturally, and so then, and then he just rambled on about building his house, and but anyway,
Yeah,
supposedly
he probably got into a fight with his wife again. I mean,
final-
his live-in girlfriend.
yeah. So
I think that's what happened to him. Whenever time she rattles his feathers,
yeah.
you know, he kind of gets into that stuff.
Yeah. Well, actually, also, I was watching another channel. They were talking about him that his subscribers actually went down by quite a bit. I forget who I was watching. They were, I forget the vlogger. He was talking about several vloggers. He said that John's he dropped by quite a bit, and they blamed you for it. I think.
I was gonna say, am I gonna get blamed for this again? I'm like, am I supposed to? Am I like the channel killer or something?
Well, no, but you made him look pretty bad because so I think a lot of people bailed out on him after that because you did expose a lot of his dirty laundry or you know.
He came after me. So
Well, I know.
I was like, I returned the favor.
I'm just saying because he's always trying to justify. He insults you, then he says, "I didn't insult you." And then he insults you again. I wasn't insulting you. And then it's like, "Oh no, I like Americans." The next video, "Oh, Americans are all assholes." What? I didn't say that. And so yeah. So he's. I think he sounded pretty downtrodden, like defeated on that video. Like, the world's coming to an end. Life sucks. kind of an attitude.
I guess I'm gonna have to what do you call this thing? Do a reaction to that video now. Like
Yeah,
this is the thing. It's like,
I think it was yesterday.
got it. I was like, I said my piece on him. I'm not gonna just go all in it. John Weller says, "Mike, the internet lasts forever. You add it, it can be found years later." Oh, I completely agree. Like, there's a couple of photos of me in the internet that I am not pleased with.
You in a dress or something, or what?
Oh no, I'm never gonna do the Hollywood thing. No, not just
with a big
like
crack pipe or something like a Hunter
no,
Biden.
somebody from high school posted photos, and you're just like, no, not that photo.
No. I found a picture of me from my boot camp Navy photo when I was like 17. It's just in my uniform online, like, whoa! I don't know.
The good old days when we used to be proud about our bodies.
Mike, can you post the link? Vinny wants to know how he can join as a guest.
Sure.
And Vinny, when Mike posts the link, just click on it, and it'll take you right to it.
Yeah, I'm just let you guys. I'm really sorry if you guys have any things that I missed on some of your questions. Just repost it because during the conversations.
Yeah, it's very hard to be the host and follow the conversations.
Yeah.
Well, there's not. Actually, it looks like a lot of people are having their.
Then Shido, if you go to you have to link your YouTube channel. So you go to your user profile, then you have to go to this little tool thing on the top. Then you're able to link your YouTube to it. So.
The way I do it is when you post the link there in the chat, I highlight it and I open it up in another browser, and then click on it and use obviously my YouTube email address works. That works pretty smooth. And then you keep your video up, the video here, while you come on the stream, and then boom, that's what I do. Works pretty smooth.
So Harriet says, "I guess this is not a free channel." No, you can talk all you want, but you just have to have your video on, my dear.
I don't think we're holding back any dialogue that we don't want to speak. Not that I would admit that I'm a member of ISIS or anything on this channel.
This is one. See, Mike brought this comment up right here. I'm like, so that's the one I answered.
Yeah, free speech. That's pretty funny.
Antonio Logia says, "Have you guys been to Mati, best place in the Philippines?" Are you saying Makati? I've never heard of Mati before.
Yeah, Makati.
Makati's nice.
I think CB, were you talking about maybe Philip Cartmel was complaining about his views? Was that
I was talking about John in the
John?
expat John John. What's his name? What is British expat in the Philippines? John. That another YouTuber had a video talking about several vloggers, and they were mentioning him that he had his viewership had gone or subscribers had decreased by quite a bit, and it was thanks to Mick here, but that's because of the latest exposés on his hypocrisy and other shortcomings. So
So here it says, "Isn't marriage is just like illegal prostitution? She provide you with pussy and you bring home the money."
no,
Not really, because technically, if that's the case, normally when you get married, anyways, pussy goes down the drain anyway. So what are you talking about? I'm like, you know,
How
I mean,
romantic.
You know,
if you're gonna compare it to that, then don't get married if that's how you view it. Like, good lord.
Yeah, that's pretty uninspirational.
I have friends that make far more than their husbands. All right. I have, in my profession, I knew female doctors, surgeons, and they were married to car mechanics or to guys that had professional hobbies, things like that, where the women made far more than the guys did. So I don't think so.
When I lived in Texas, I managed fitness clubs for a few years, and I met all kinds of women, lots of rich women. I dated lawyers and professors, and they were the most wildest. I mean, they were so wild. They used to come in there into the office at lunch to exercise, and they'd come in the office and we'd make out in the office and close the door naturally, and then I'd take them out and give them a real workout on the universal machine. But yeah,
on the row machine. Got it. I got you.
yeah. I mean,
On the elliptical. Roger.
when I was in the nightclub business, I met a lot of women that made a lot of money, and I actually I went to my friend's father's funeral and met his probate lawyer. I dated her. She really liked to smoke hash. She was always high, but she was a live one too. She had a lot of money. I should have married her and then left, but I didn't.
The shoulda, woulda, the couldas, right? I mean, so
I was
like,
engaged
for me, like,
to a woman, and I live in Texas in 1986, and I didn't know her family was rich. I mean, dinero rich. I mean, and we went and visit. We were living together, and we went and visited her parents for a Christmas, and her father offered me $200,000 to marry her. Cash.
I thought you were about to say this to stop dating her because
No, he liked me because he had two other daughters, and what a direct quote was, "Yeah, my other daughters married these guys, and honestly, Clint, I'm kind of disappointed in them. But I like you," he said, "and I'd like you to marry my daughter. But I'm not very healthy. He only had one lung. He was really in bad health, and he wanted to speed it up. He goes, when are you getting married? Well, we're engaged, but I'm not in a hurry." He goes, "Would $200,000 get you in a hurry?" I said, what do you mean? I thought he was kidding. He said, "No." I said, "Is that cash?" He said, "Yes. And you don't even have to tell her I gave it to you." And I thought,
so. Mike, let's talk on some other issues.
Sure.
Let's talk about Cartman, Philip Cartman. I see that he laid into you and I both actually. And he even laid in a guy named Philip Cartman. He even he had something bad to say about a couple of different people.
That's him right there.
Yeah, and then you've got this whole thing that's unfolding. But here's something else. The Russian blogger here, It's My Life Philippines.
Mm.
All right, he's the guy that had the Barnana issue with the manager at Barnana. Yeah. Okay, so the police can't find him to serve. You know, he filed the complaint. The prosecutor accepted the complaint. They went to prosecute. His only listed address was Barnana, and nobody has seen it. And Philly, Brian and I, Philly in the Philippines, we were having breakfast about a week ago, and one of our subscribers was talking to us and said, you know, I was on Walking Street 3 nights last week, and that bar manager is not there. He has not been seen. So I
Interesting.
wonder if he just said, I know they're going to serve me. He took off and left town.
He probably go into another bar to manage, you know, maybe in Cebu or in Davao or whatever.
Well,
I mean,
he,
that,
couldn't,
you know,
he couldn't leave the country with the warrant out for him, could he? Wouldn't that come up when he tried to leave?
No, because you got to remember how the Philippine justice system was.
Yeah.
He's not guilty of anything yet. You know, you can. First, you have to get charged. Then the charges have to go to the prosecutor. The prosecutor has to decide that there's enough to prosecute, and part of that is issuing a subpoena to get your side of the story. And then at that point, they'll put a warrant out for the charges. So, I mean, it's a long and different process here.
Yeah, then he could have gotten out of the country then if he wanted to.
Yeah, it is a long process. Or, you know, there's like, you know, for like foreigners that can get blacklisted, they don't have to go to the cops. They can just go straight into the immigration. And as long as they can file a complaint and it shows proper enough that you have enough evidence, then they can blacklist you that way. But he's not going with that guy. He's just trying to sue him. So if you can't find him, you're not going to be able to sue him.
Perfect.
It's done.
Yeah.
They're going to drop it. They're just going to drop it and then have it open that if he sees again, then he can reestablish it again.
But if he ever had contact with the police for some reason later on, would they not be able to find that out, that the other entity was looking for them?
They don't have the cops don't have computer systems. Like, it's not like in the US where they have a computer system to look up, like, does this person, you know, a lot of that, you know, it's very inundated. And so, you know, they have to call it in. Somebody has to look it up and stuff like that. So it's not really that easy, you know. I mean, you truly can escape or vanish in the Philippines.
And even then, if it's with the local police and not the PNP, it's not in any system. The local police, the local government units, they're not hooked up to anything nationwide.
Yep.
So
yeah, they're trying to have a national system, but they're just never going to get there right away. I mean, I don't see it happening. I mean,
can you hear me still?
Yeah, we can hear you still, CD.
My camera seems to have cut out. Hold on a second. What the heck's going on here? Something went screwy. Well, go ahead. Let me see what's going on here.
Yeah.
So, you know, like Mike is saying, there's what there is. You know, the Philippines is doing what they can, but they're just behind.
What the heck?
They're simply behind.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute you for a second, okay? So while you figure that out.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to find the link to read, because for some reason my camera shut out. I'm not sure why.
Just reset it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in regards to Philip Cartman, you know, like for me, he's you know, he I already made him jump, right? Because you know we already exposed him being a hypocrite, in all honesty. And then so when I made him jump, he did what? He got rid of all his videos.
Yeah.
So I'm the one who made him jump. You know, based on the help of like comments that he was making over at, you know, towards Mog, towards Andy, whatever, towards me and stuff like that. So it's like the thing though is like, it's funny how a lot of these guys will go from channel to channel, right, and try to hide what they do with the one channel or what they're saying about one channel and then go into that channel. I mean, that's what he was trying to do, but then he was easily exposed. And you know, it's funny for him. he technically needs to watch out as well, because there were things that he said online. There were comments that he's made that's easily can be used on him. And even though he's married to a Filipina, that ain't gonna change nothing way if he ends up in jail in the Philippines as well. So
No. Well,
okay,
even-
Vinny, I see you. Let's put you in.
Hey, can
What's
you
up,
guys
man?
see me?
Yeah, we can. Well, you know, the light
that looks
behind
so-
you gets rid of. There you go. There you go. We can see your face
Yeah,
right now.
that
What's up,
look-
man?
that looks so dark.
And
Okay, guys, I'm joining you because I got one for you.
okay,
So I have a LDR.
okay.
By the way, I like you both. I follow you both.
Thank you.
Respect.
I have a LDR. She's in Valencia now. She was in Samar. I moved her back home closer to her people that are in Bendoy. So that's Negros Oriental, you know?
Yeah.
And this girl's 30 years old, and she finds a lump in her breast. And I paid for the doctors. This is not a scam. This is not a scam because she was on the phone with the doctors when this was happening. And yeah, she has what's called a RAD4 tumor in her breast. But she goes back to Bendoy to the mountain.
Wait,
And
she had a level 4.
a RAD4 through a sonogram, like no scam. She's not scamming me.
Okay.
I was talking to the doctors because I did the research, and then I talked to the doctor while she was at the appointment. I had to almost force this girl to go there, and now she went back home to the mountain with her mother, and they're not educated people. They're nice people. They're not educated. And the quack doctor told her, "Oh, you don't have to remove that. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything." When medical science tells, and I did the research on this, and is anybody else experiencing this? I'm a 100% disabled United States Marine Corps veteran, and I can go there and live a life with this 30-year-old woman, and she's listening to the quack mountain doctor, and cancel the appointment I had for her to have that removed. Has anybody else experienced this? She won't listen to science, medical knowledge, everything.
Well, a
What do you have,
RAD4.
Mike?
I
I'll let you
don't
start, Mike.
want to lose this girl, to that.
Yes, they're very. Look, if you want to know more about the BIRADS levels, I can tell you all about it. But with respect to what you're going through, yes, it's common. It's very common, especially in the smaller villages. They don't want to go to the doctor. And quite honestly, we ourselves have seen people in the province that it's not worth it to them to become the financial struggle for their family to seek treatment.
Yeah, that's something that I experienced too, because she's telling me, "Oh, it's too much money. It's too much money." Look, bro, my brothers, when she went in there to the doctor, I'm telling you, like I'm not the most intelligent guy in the world, but I can read, and I retain what I read. And I read all the stuff on this, and the in Valencia at the little clinic, the doctor there said, "Oh, she should go get this scan." And no, like here in the U.S., Mike, and you're both U.S., right?
I live in the Philippines.
Yeah, but you're U.S. guys.
Yes.
Here, they want to send them to do that scan, and oh my God, it puts more radiation in, and it does worse. The mammogram.
It's very low dose. Very,
Yeah,
very low dose.
mammograms are very low dose because I mean, if so, she has a BRAD4. The question, so there's probably like
Wait a second,
suspicional.
guys. Wait a second, guys. Yeah. Now your European viewers will disagree because they don't even allow mammograms anymore in the UK and in Europe.
Okay, so
And this doctor wanted to send her to that. I had to say no. Get her the sonogram. Sonogram is more detectable. But this girl won't go and do this surgery. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to get emotional.
I'm
She
gonna.
won't go
Okay,
and do this because after the sonogram, a RAD4 is like, it's precancerous, right? It's like right on the edge. You ever grow some vegetables? You ever grow a garden? You ever grow something? One day you have a blossom. The next day you get a 2-inch cucumber, or you got a little tomato. It's like overnight.
yeah.
And
So I
I'm
mean, if you're starting to
fearful
talk
that's
about,
what's going to happen.
okay, so here's the thing, right? You have to understand that Philippines bases their typically bases their medical knowledge based on American medicine, right? That so you have to understand is that's how the practice is. So even if whatever the Europeans think, the Filipinos by far average their education for medicine is based on American standard of medicine.
All right, Mike, what I'm asking you guys is
Mm.
because she went home, she found this out, and she was so distraught. She went home, Mike, and she went to her mother, and her mother took her to the quack doctor in the mountain. And you know what he did? And guys, this is my experience from this because I was on video with every doctor visit and then the doctor quack visit. What he did was the same as if you got like tarot cards read or you're reading what's this shit called when astrology that you read your thing every day.
I mean,
What's that called?
did he use the straw with the smoke and the papers that are dirty found in the water? I mean, what like I understand
No,
like
no,
it
but
does.
it's like
Here's the thing, like
astrology. It's like reading astrology where he said questions to her
okay,
that were so
let's hold on,
basic that
hold on.
anybody would
I get
answer
it. I
that.
get it. Let's cancel everything. Okay? Quack quack. Whatever quack quack doesn't matter what he does, right? Mr. Quack quack. Doesn't matter. Number one, have you met this girl before?
Yes.
Face to face?
Yes, face to face.
Okay.
I met her. My uncle's Filipino,
Okay.
and when I was in the Marine Corps and in California, and I'm talking, oh my God, 35 years ago. I was just a kid, and they tried to introduce me to Filipinas, and I was like, I didn't understand. I didn't know I could have got
Okay.
a quality woman.
Yeah, let's solve the problem that's in hand, right?
Mhm.
So you met this girl already. You moved her from Samar to somewhere in Valencia, close to Norigdos Oriental, as you said, right?
Back
That's
to her
there.
family, yes.
Back to her family. Okay. How did she find out about the lump? Did all of a sudden she found it, then you told her to go to the doctor?
A self check.
Did you self-check her or did she check herself?
She checked herself, Mike. Come on now.
Okay. No.
Let's be gentlemen.
Yeah. No. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the best. Honestly, the best way to check for some stuff on somebody's breast is have your boyfriend or your man do it, because sometimes that they're going to be the one that's going to be able to identify and notice certain things sometimes. So then, so here's the thing, right?
Well, that's because I'm back in the U.S. and I have to do some things for my health before I go there. That's why we're apart.
So have you ever heard of the fact that the stages of grief?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
So
5 levels?
certain levels, some people skip certain things, but so the first is denial. is one of them. Then there's going to be somewhere with anger in there. There's going to be somewhere where there's going to be begging. There's going to be
I see where you're going. I see
So-
where you're going.
So the problem there is they're going to be doing what they're familiar with. If she's a poor person from a poor family, the whole thing with albolarios, as you say, quack doctors, is something that is natural or is being used. So
How do I get around that, Mike?
you
You know
don't.
what? Let me interject something. Take
Go ahead.
this from somebody that's had to talk to patients about this for many years. She's a bilat 4. Bilat 4. A bilat
Birad.
Birad.
R-A-D. Birad 4.
bilateral. Birad 4. A birad 4 is the most significant finding from a mammogram that we can get. All right. It is a mass. It is seen in both the anterior posterior view and in the lateral view and in the oblique views. It's not a shadow, it's a mass. Its shape is not round, it's not cystic, it's not similar.
For the other guys listening, if they're still interested, it's think like an egg or an oval. It's oval shape.
Yes.
Cancer would be like
Okay, so whatever literature you're reading is telling you that a BIRAD 4 is highly suggestive of cancer. Be very careful about how that's phrased. Not all cancers are malignant. There are benign cancers and everything else. And I'm only going to say this.
I got to get my charger, guys. I'm with you. I'm listening.
You know something? Whether it is, no matter what it is, what she needs right now is a biopsy.
Invasive biopsy.
Yes.
Get the ultrasound.
Yes.
Get the
100%.
All
No.
right? So take her
Actually,
to
she
Cebu.
doesn't. She doesn't need a needle biopsy. What she needs to do is remove it.
No, she
And
needs
she
No. She needs an invasive biopsy. So you're false there. They need to first figure out, is it something that should be removed? Is it something that's gonna, that is causing problem? Is it malignant or is it, just gonna stay there, or is it gonna metastasize? So the thing though is like you're obviously you're reading a lot of WebMD right now. You didn't
Mike,
want her.
No, Mike. The doctor there, I don't want to say the hospital in Dumaguete. I don't want to do that. But they said yes, it has to be removed. Okay, I'm not even talking about the removal, but she won't even do the biopsy because the quack doctor told her, "Oh, you have stress. Oh, you never used harsh words before."
So
you
number
have a
thing is
panel.
you need to okay listen. You need to first of all remove from your mentality this thing about quacks. All right, to them it's the reality. You cannot change that. You cannot fight that. It's something that they've learned all through life. It's no different than we say get a mammogram. You're like, no. You should get a sonogram. It's different ideas on how it works. There's no difference. We see that in the U.S. where cancer patients don't want to forego, their treatment and decide to do the herbal type of treatment instead, right? So here's the thing. You need to, let's just, in my opinion, remove all the things that's going on right now. She's on her stages of grief. The last thing that you need to do right now is to be pushing her from what it is. Show her for some empathy, and then at the very same time is.
Oh my God, bro! You don't think I've shown her all that?
No. But how we're having this
what I'm asking you're going step by step ABCs. I've done this, Michael. How do I change her mind from her mother?
You can't.
You know, a 30-year-old Filipina still listens to her mother. How do I change her that this quack, that
Hold
this
on.
guy in the mountain,
You
telling
can't.
her this?
You
You're not-
can't.
Then how do I save her? If I
You
can't
don't.
change her, if I
She
can't
has
change
every
her
right.
mind,
She is an individual that has every right to make her own decision for medical decisions. There's two things you can do:
bro,
support her
bro,
or leave her.
bro, I will never leave her. And
Then
bro,
then
she's
support.
in danger. She's in danger.
No. Here's the thing, right? Unfortunately, sometimes there's these things called, because Mike's a medical professional. I'm a medical professional. In the end, it's patients' rights.
You can only lead a horse to water. You cannot make the horse drink. And I don't mean your partner's a horse. But what I am saying is that you can only do so much. If you
Well,
wanted to, if she was
I
acceptable,
disagree with Michael because you're saying it's medical rights. Yeah,
it
if
is.
if
It
you're gonna
is.
die and you know you're riddled with cancer or something, and you want to take a choice, then choose that. But she doesn't understand.
Okay, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you something you don't know. You don't live there with her. Okay? And that is a little bit of, or could be a little bit of a problem. For instance, the reason that what she needs is what's called a skinny needle biopsy right now is because we want to see what type of cells are in that tumor. All right?
I'm sorry. The
No.
doctor there already said there was no sense to do that. He
Well,
said
the
that
doctor's an
Ever
idiot.
heard of a second opinion?
yes, and I will pay for it, but she won't go because
Then-
the guy in the mountain told her she doesn't need
Doesn't
to
matter.
go, Michael.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's been said. An advice was given. Their advice is more important than your advice. Who are you for her to go up against somebody that she grew up with? Who are you for somebody that she grew up with in regards for her mother giving her advice? You cannot change her. She respects her family more than she respects you.
So you're
That's what's
telling me
going on right now.
So
You
you're
have
telling me to watch my fiance die?
No, you know something. Sometimes you.
No,
Here's-
I'm talking to Michael. Michael
Yeah,
likes
but-
to debate.
Okay.
You're telling
Okay.
me. You're telling me.
no.
You're telling me basically. I have no. I came to you for help because
And
you're
I'm-
a Filipino
and
and
number
you know
thing
these
is-
things. I've watched. Wait a second, sir. I've watched many of your videos. I'm asking you, how can I convince them to just
Number-
get a second opinion or just help her?
Number one, okay, I'm not, let's just say that she's a good woman, she's truthful to you, all this stuff. We're gonna remove any red flag right now. We're just gonna go straight.
It's confirmed. It's confirmed. Please, Mike.
That's what
This is not some scammer girl. I'm not that person.
Hold on. So here's the thing. Number one is when somebody is sick in this level, when somebody is having this problem, you, sir, not being there by her side cannot really make decisions for her. And it's going to be hard for you to be able to make her realize what needs to happen because you're not there face to face with her. That's number one. Number two, how is she with English?
Oh my God. She speaks 4 languages.
Okay, so here's the thing. Once again, you have to be present there. If you're not present there, that's a problem. You're not going to be able to convince her. And you can't.
I need a surgery before I go there.
Well, that's the problem. Unfortunately, it's a decision that you made. You're asking me to help you, and I'm telling you where the first steps needs to happen first. Because number one is for you to be able to.
No, Michael. What I'm asking you is, how do I talk to this woman who has been ingrained since childhood to believe in that mountain doctor?
I believe in hold on.
Here's
the thing.
I'm asking.
And I'm
how can I show her? And she's bright. She's a degree holder. She's a teacher.
You're not listening to me.
Listen. Okay.
You're not. See, the problem is you're not listening to me. You keep on opening. I'm sorry. I'm helping you out here. Number one, You need to be in the Philippines because
Thank you.
that needs to be first step for you to be able. I'm giving you your steps right now. You need to be in the Philippines. Unfortunately, you can't. So until you can get to the Philippines, you cannot even start the process of helping her and guiding her.
Okay,
You are
so
not.
that's then you don't have to go any further, sir.
There's
You're
several
telling me
steps.
I can't
Next
be
thing,
there for 6 months, maybe
then you know what?
December,
Then you
because
can't.
I'm banged up from the Marine Corps. I need some surgery.
And thank you for your service, and I apologize because part of the thing is with a lot of these when somebody is going through the process right now, there's this grief that she has, and she needs the support. Her family's there for her. Her mom's there for her, so her mom is giving her support. She's gonna believe her mom over you. She's gonna go through more her own beliefs on her culture. This quack doctor you're talking about is culturally ingrained.
And I don't
religion or
mean
mind.
I don't mean
Don't
to
put religion there,
insult
too.
anybody with the quack. That's what
And
her
that's
words.
the thing.
That's
But
her
see,
words for them. That's her
doesn't
word.
matter. That
But
doesn't
she
matter.
listened to that. She listened to that.
Look.
She
It's
won't do the biopsy like this
Are you-
other Michael said.
Are you
and she
paying
won't-
attention? It's culture. Like,
Mhm.
why are you not putting that in your brain? It's culture.
No, Mike, it's in my brain. I'm asking you, is there a way around this? Over the mountain, through the mountain, under the
Yes,
mountain? Is there a way?
number one.
Yeah,
Number
be
one.
there.
Number one. Be there. Number two. Hey,
I can't be there right now.
then until that moment.
Wait,
Until that moment.
what is the difference that I can say to her in
None.
person
None.
that I can't
Because
say online?
I'll tell you right
what
now
is
why.
the difference for me to be there in person?
I'll tell you why right now you can't do it online. Because at this very moment, and this is my assessment, I don't know about the other guys. This is my assessment. I'm trying to give you a conversation right now, and you keep on butting. And so by this cadence that you and I had back and forth shows me that you and her have these communication problems that will exist.
Mike,
No,
don't try to do that psycho bullshit. No, sir. No, sir. We don't have that.
To convince
I'm
people to
gentle,
change her mind
I'm
is a
kind.
psychobabble bullshit.
Yeah, but I don't argue with her like I'm doing with you, which I'm trying not to. I just asked you, is there a way that I can convince her that mountain doctor is not true? And to please
No, because it is true. Before I let Mike jump in, it is true.
To
That
her,
mountain doctor
yes,
is
I
true.
understand that.
So
I
stop telling her
understand that.
it's not true. Stop telling me it's not true. Because part of the thing is before you're able to have a change in communication, right? Before you're able to convince her to move her
Don't you have
to
a master's degree in psychology? I just look for help. Don't you have a master's degree in psychology?
I don't have a master's degree in full psychology, but I'm telling you right now how it's done for the
PhD something.
I'm telling you.
And with your Filipino experience,
I'm giving you the answer right now, sir.
Okay,
You're not paying attention. You want help? Shut the fuck up right now and let me talk. This is tough love right now.
I got thick skin. You're not going to offend me, Mike.
Her belief system on that quack doctor is true. You can't change her. Okay? So stop saying, I need to make her change her mind to make her believe that so she doesn't believe what they're saying. No, it's true. What you need to do is to provide an option.
I did.
No, I don't think I don't think you delivered it correctly. Because then I would say to her, I'm like, listen.
Two medical opinions, Michael.
Okay, you know
I
something?
would tell her something. Before Mike, let me answer this. I would say, listen, that's great that you're having this treatment right now because we do this every day for the death and dying.
Okay, Mike, let's not be hostile. Let's be gentle.
No, I'm being hostile right now. Just listen.
I asked for help.
I'm giving you help. This is tough love. This is fucked hard. I know. Fuck up and listen so I can help you.
Okay, go ahead, genius.
What you need to do is say, listen, you have, that's great, but then you can present the second option and have it done side by side. We can continue. I understand that, but first, because what she's fearful that it has to be removed. Something's going to be removed on her. It's going to scare patients. So what Mike is trying to say is, let's go somewhere in the middle. Let's do first and see how bad this is, and let's go ahead and insert something. Let's go ahead and do an invasive biopsy right now to see what are the situation on the cells. We're not removing it, baby. We're not removing it.
Can I clarify a point? That mountain doctor told her if she does the
who gives a fuck about the mountain? Who gives a fuck about the mountain doctor right now?
Dude,
no,
really?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Who gives a fuck?
If she does the needle biopsy, that is like opening up an egg and you crack an egg and then the cancer will leak out into your body. That's what he told her. Well, so she won't do it. She won't do it.
Okay, so
all right, guys. I think I just want to get off.
Here's my solution. I'm so sorry. Here's my solution.
I just want to get off of here.
Here's my solution. Find another woman. Let her die.
I think I want to get off.
What? I'm sorry. Just let her go.
Yeah. Let me just say this one thing.
Mm-hmm. Wow, Mike,
you're asking.
Mike,
no, I'm going to say this.
Say let her die.
She wants to. She doesn't want to get treatment.
No, she doesn't. She don't want to get treatment. She want to get better.
I came here to ask you, how could I get her around the mountain doctor? Mike, you just canceled yourself.
All right, let me just say something. All right. You're asking how Mike or anybody else can give you advice to help change her mind. Let's flip that coin for just a moment. All right. Let's look at your culture and let's say, how can we change your mind? How can we tell you that you being raised in an American medical environment, that they're all the fuck wrong? How can we convince you that what you know to be true is not? That's what you face with her. And sometimes it just won't happen. It just won't happen. You can't convince her of that. I assume he's gone now. So
yeah, he's gone.
Either way, the bottom line is she needs to go to either Asian or St. Luke's. She needs a skinny needle biopsy, same results, same day, and we need to see what the cells are to determine whether she gets an excision or whether she goes to chemo.
You know what this reminds me of there, fellas, and thanks for having me there, Mike. There's a whole Val Kilmer throat cancer thing there, man. Yeah, reminds me of that. That could have been so easily treated there, but right now he's putting his thumb in a trach. He has to talk like that for the rest of his fucking life.
Yeah,
it's been easily treated, and he relied on his faith. I think he's God damn it, was it one of them Tom Cruise things?
He's that what he calls it? So
yeah, the Tom Cruise religion.
Yeah, they can heal each other.
Yeah,
Tom
exactly.
Tom Cruise didn't heal him.
Right, but getting back to this Marine there, I get what he's saying, but at that same time, and I have seen this firsthand because, as you know, I was born and did some growing up out there. What this quack doctor or witch doctor, however you want to call him, if you go to him or her for any kind of ailment or whatnot, they're going to treat that as gospel right there, man. There's no going away from that. I mean, there is no going away from that. You remember that comic Andy Kaufman? Remember when he went to the Philippines and thought that whatever cancer that was eating up at him, I'm going to the Philippines and get that. Well, jeez.
Oh, yeah. Like I can show people how to do that. How some of the fake quack doctors do it in the Philippines. Right?
Exactly.
I know how to do it. All you need is some bacon.
Right. And a lot of those guys are in it for a buck there, man. It
depends. It depends. Like my quack doctor, we can call him my quack doctor and stuff like that, but he's the quack doctor of some of the rich people in the Philippines. He gets called up all the time. Like, even though I just
Right.
call him bullshit every now and then, but he
Right.
does do a good job with massages in my, massages in the back and the hands. But
I
like,
wasn't going to come on here today, because but then you guys were talking about the Barnana guy, the bar guy, being on a run or something like that. Then it got me to thinking about good old Scott Finner in there, and then him being on his bike and going from town to town and whatnot. Do you think that he's kind of feeling that heat because he's going with him going to, barangay to barangay or province to province, and God knows what else it is, That was my question right there. Then all of a sudden, this Marine comes on there, and from veteran to veteran, thank you for your service there, my man. But do you think that then I'm sorry, I'm getting off track here. The veteran getting on there, talking about his fiance and this quack doctor and whatever, I wanted to get on here as well because I'm a med professional, but I work in the surgical side of things, and the surgery side of me is saying, let's yank that sucker out there, man.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, it got to the point I had to give tough love. It's just
Right.
because he's going all over the place and stuff like that.
Right. He was going all over the map there. He was going all over the map.
And it gets to the point that, like, listen, you have Mike giving the advice to do this. I'm like, we're not saying remove it. Well, this doctor said to remove it. I said, fucking see a second, then get a second opinion.
Mhm.
Right? That's just how it works. You don't like what
Yeah,
one
that's how it
doctor
works.
says, go to
That's how it
second
works.
and third opinion. That's what we do when it comes to this stuff. But he's well, the quack doctor said this. It doesn't matter. That quack doctor said it already, and it's believed. It's the truth for her. It's culture. It's tradition. And this is the part where some guys you may not understand it, but it's ingrained.
And it just seems like even though this guy, I'm sorry, Mike, but it just seems like even though this guy is living here stateside, he's believing this quack doctor more than the stateside doctors here. You feel me?
Yeah.
Well, the quack doctor saying this and that, correct me if I'm wrong on that there,
more
it
than
seems like
likely,
he's listening to that quack doctor more than the stateside doctors.
listen, and I'm not gonna discount it. The guy's in love with her. Okay.
Obviously,
he's in love with a girl. He's in denial that he might lose her. I understand that stuff.
Mhm.
And then so now what are we doing? We're what stage of grief are we in? Oh, now we're in bargaining stage. Let's bargain on how to fix this. Let's go see this doctor. Let's go do that. It's like
Right.
I'm here. I am trying to describe him to be able to lie to him, and he doesn't want. And he doesn't want. He goes, how do I convince you? You can't, because you're not in the Philippines. And
Right.
what did he say? What does he say? Well, that's going to be another 6 months. Then you're going to have to wait, and hopefully she's still alive in 6 months.
Exactly.
Because that's just that's the cards that's dealt. Because in the end, you're still with the girl, and you were not ready to be with her. Like I keep on telling guys,
what's going to happen 6 months from now? Are they still going to be engaged? Who knows?
maybe
Right now they are.
maybe, hopefully, and
Yeah.
hopefully she's still alive. But it's like for
Right.
me, it's like I don't know. Like for me, it's like this is the thing. If you're ready for a real relationship in the Philippines,
You'd be
you
there
got
right
3
now.
months. You start
Right.
date. You go online. You start meeting the girl. You give the girl 3 months, and you make a decision. You make a
Right.
decision that you're either gonna visit her right away within that first 60 days that you meet her, to start solidifying things, or then start making a decision. Are you gonna be bringing her to the States, or are you gonna be moving to the Philippines? Because the faster you can make that decision, the better it is for you. But a lot of these guys, he still needs surgery. He probably
Right.
knew he needed surgery before he got into a relationship with her. He was already feeling a lot of those stuff. If you're not ready in your mind and also physically and mentally, you shouldn't get into a relationship.
My question is, when he came here I'm in the States. When he went there to see her, how long did he stay? Was it 3 weeks? Was it a month or whatever?
I don't think he said enough that he moved her from Samar. And I'm sorry, listen. My question is, what was she doing when she's from Negros Oriental, where her family is, north of Valencia, whatever, and then he found her in Samar?
Mm.
Like, I don't see normally you see girls from Samar going to the Valencia area,
Exactly.
not the other way around. So
Right.
it's like I don't know. It's like my thing is just that, and in the end, he still can't understand that a person has the right to make a decision what they want for their body. Like I'm sure you, Mike, have to dealt with people, parents, husbands, kids trying to say we need to heal mom, and mom or dad, the patient doesn't want to get touched. They don't want the surgery. They don't want the chemo. They made a decision. You can't push them.
I can
What do you
tell
think,
you,
Mike?
I can tell you this. All right. We'll take even all of my medical background out. All right. Let's talk about this. I had a stepmother-in-law. Okay. And wonderful woman. Wonderful woman. She got breast cancer and fought the big fight. I mean, she went to Duke, she did the chemo, she did the radiation, she did everything. And it was a hell of a fight and beat it. And then 9 years later, it came back. And she simply said, I'm not doing that again. I'm not going to fight. And sometimes people are like that. This woman could be that way. Could be, I'm not going to fight. I'm going to go. And then again, getting back to what I was saying, and I feel so sorry for this guy, but he's got to recognize that even if she wants to fight, he's got a problem trying to convince her that his way is better than her way. And he wants to know from you, how do you do it? Well, that would be the same thing as going on Sizzy Kelly's channel and asking Sizzy Kelly how to convince him that her way is right. How do I know that his way, just because we come from a place where modern medicine is readily available, we grew up like that.
Mm-hmm.
She did not. She doesn't have the faith, perhaps. She doesn't have the knowledge or education. But what she does have is that village quack that helped her through every toothache, helped her through every belly ache, helped her get rid of a kid when she got pregnant, whatever. All right. Now, that was a terrible thing for me to say, and I apologize. But yeah.
Maybe she gave birth. Maybe she gave birth there, Mike.
Maybe. I mean, but the problem is how do you got to convince him? What would it take, whatever it's going to take to convince him that his way is wrong is what it's going to take to convince her. And you can't do that.
Well, like what Mike was saying, it's a cultural thing. And, I'll go a step further there. It's religion too. It really is. It just kind of just gels together there, man. It really does. You're not going to convince somebody that's steadfast in that belief there that whatever my American doctor or physicians or whatever is saying about whatever is going on with you, I'm still sticking with, this quack doc here, man, no matter what.
Plus, it's cheaper. They don't want to burden people.
Right.
That's the thing. They don't want to burden. So it's like it just goes both ways. And listen, it sucks. Like, there's a couple doctors out there that are quack doctors for real. Like there's like, for example, that one Filipina who's a real doctor who got in it with that other doctor from Australia. You guys ever hear? I forgot. Have you guys ever seen those things? So what ended up happening was, like, she was like selling these drinks that's supposed to cure cancer and stuff like that, and people were buying it and all that stuff. And then the doctor from Australia who speaks Tagalog, he has a Filipina girlfriend and stuff like that. He used to be a vlogger as well, and he was like saying, "Oh, this is wrong." He was putting his own comments on it, and that doctor, like, I think almost lost her license and stuff like that, but she was able to recover, and then she sues his butt in Australia. and he had to like spend, I think, like $200,000-$300,000, all that stuff to try to be able to, work that out. Even regular doctors, there's going to be, hey CD, and that's the thing. It's like, but the thing is, you can't, once they make a decision, and in the end, she's 30. So, and if she's a provincial girl like that, then she's attached to the hip to her mother. You're not gonna, you telling her that the quack is wrong is you telling her that whatever her mom taught her, and her mom is lying, her mom is wrong. And I'm sure he's used that words of like, that's what I was like saying. That's why I talked to him. I said, listen, the way you and I can't even fully connect, you're not listening. I'm trying to give you the stuff. You ask me a question. We're having a problem. I know you and your girl, you have problems delivering the message to your girl. Right. So,
and I'm glad you gave him that tough love right there, man. Seriously, I am so glad you gave him that tough love.
He had to, he needed tough love.
I was like, oh man, this is not going to end well for him.
He needed tough love because the thing that happens for this guy is, this is the guy who everyone just really, I have a feeling, and like, this is, I don't know what you guys think, but this is my feeling. These are those guys that people quit wanting to talk to him and just let him talk because they can't get to him.
You know, sometimes I think the best way that I can say this is, and it may not apply to him at all, but we all look for answers and the desperation of those answers. I mean, you know, this goes back. Mike is very familiar with this, I'm sure. The chelating incidences down in Mexico.
Right?
Chelating, where you do chelating therapy. You're actually injecting in Mexico with literally they're using hydrogen peroxide, bleach, and plasma to do cancer therapy, and it kills people. There's no scientific proof that stuff works whatsoever.
You go to these reservations here in the United States there too, man. I mean, good God, out there in New Mexico and Arizona, I mean, they got those shamans and God knows what else out there. Hey,
absolutely. We had a clinic. We had a clinic that served the Gila River Indians.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And we would see these patients that refused to take their insulin.
Mm-hmm.
And they wonder why their leg's coming off today.
Yep.
Well, next week
you didn't take your insulin. Didn't watch what you were eating. You didn't change your lifestyle there. I'll tell you right now, guys. Me working in surgery, my least favorite. Matter of fact, I really hate doing these procedures are amputations. Really, they are. I mean, I did one today, and and
they look so brutal too, don't they?
They are fucking brutal. I don't care what it is. They're brutal. And I'm gonna tell you right now, my dad, he's 80 years old. God bless him. He's been diabetic since 1971. Has not had anything lopped off on him yet. Not one damn thing. And every time I'm in an every time I do a procedure that I gotta take somebody's half a foot off or the entire foot off or a BKA or AKA, I think of my dad. And I was like, you know what? This could be my dad if he didn't take care of himself. The old man take care of himself. Man.
I gotta laugh at Steve's comment. Steve, that's funny as hell.
Filiberto's baby. Filiberto's here's them all. 4 o'clock in the morning, Filiberto's run. Heck yeah. Only Arizona people know that.
That bacon, egg, and cheese burrito at 2 in the morning.
No. Bacon, egg, and cheese. Then you have them add the potatoes and some sausage in the burrito.
Oh my God. That's
there's this place in New Mexico, man. Called the Golden Corral. No, not that's a Golden Pride. The number 9 with extra bacon. Holy shit, that is a good hangover cure right there, man. That's a good hangover.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad during my party time, like I had my party times when I was younger, but my party times as an adult was in Arizona. That's all I can say.
Right.
It was Arizona party moments because like it's funny. Like me and Mike have like similar places.
Right.
Maybe Mike was across the room I didn't know about, all that stuff.
You guys could have crossed each other, they didn't even blink an eye at each other. You know what I'm saying?
Probably, I probably
My
said,
party times was, my
what?
party times, just like CD here, was in the military. And when I got out after my 4-year bid, well, hell, going back to school and walking onto the University of New Mexico football team in 93, I was the oldest kid there, man. Everybody was 17, 18, 19 years old. That was, they were, this is our first time away from home there. I got that 4-year experience, 4 or 5-year experience right now. It's like,
I was
I know what to
probably,
do, I know what to do. And so I really got all that stuff out of my system when I did that 4-year bid in the Army there, man. So
I was probably sitting in Barcelona
93.
with one girl, all right, thinking I'm hot shit with this, like, stripper. And I'm looking at a group of guys across the room with like 10 hot girls, and Mike was probably one of them.
Wait, I was one of the hot girls. What the hell?
I can't get over. These young guys are killing my game. God damn it! I have to spend twice as much money.
Well,
Mike
see,
Mike was leading with the wallet there, man.
But see, I had a rule. I had a rule in Barcelona, though. When I went to Barcelona, what I did in Barcelona was I only went for the Latinas in Barcelona. That was my thing in Barcelona. Then when I went to the Blue Martini, I only went for the white chicks in that place. I had certain rules that I kind of would do and stuff like that. But Arizona I always tell people, if you single, go to Arizona.
Yeah, Albuquerque was not that bad too there, man. I mean, it was crazy, but it was not bad, especially if you were single there, man.
Hey, Just.
We had a good time.
Mike, how you guys doing?
Oh, and one thing I used to love about Arizona, I don't know if Mike ever took advantage of this. Man, Indian people, not the dot, the feather ones.
Yeah, not the dot.
I didn't
Navajo.
run into many.
Oh, I used to run a lot of them in Tempe. Oh, Navajo.
Navajos creepy in their teepees.
Yo, I'm not joking. Oh my god, like Indian girls are sexy.
I dated one. I dated one. Trust me, and she was. Oh my god. Yeah.
I like
Indian girl on that one. Mike, we got to trade war stories on that one there, man. Yeah, she was sexy as hell. Very sexy.
Fried bread, baby.
And she's an MD right now, man. She's an MD.
See, you let her get away.
Yeah, I let her get away.
I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole different world. Who's your name?
It's Just.
Who is that?
Hey, Mike,
It's
this is Just.
It's Just Facts.
Oh, Just Facts. Hey,
Yo, Facts, what's good, man? How you doing?
Hey, Dave, you been at the Golden Corral? So,
Yeah, man. I did mad damage at the Golden Corral. Along with probably somebody else there. We won't. She will remain nameless there.
I just want to I don't want to camp up because sometimes I do work, and you guys on Discord probably know what I do. So, here's the thing. I just want to add a little bit on that witch doctor thing. I witnessed that before, and they've done that before. I'm sure Mike probably had some kind of work done to him. I don't know what. Dave too. Probably when he was younger, living over there, we had that kind of stuff done to us. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So, like you said, Mike, these people that that live in the Bukid or the mountains, they're stuck on their ways.
Mm-hmm.
Even those provinces, the small provinces. I mean, I don't know if the viewers are aware of this or are living in the U.S. You guys got to be aware of the old ways. I believe it came in before in the Spanish times, and these things they believe in. These ghosts. They believe in mythical animals. Things with red eyes and all that things that Mike had talked about. I've heard it since I was a kid, and things like when somebody gets sick, your kids get sick, somebody's dying, and here comes this guy that comes from the Bukid or the mountains. They'll bring him in there, and then he's bringing this jar of that old tanduay thing that they filled with oil of a root, plants in it, and they'll let them drink the stuff. And they kind of have these doses for these things, and they believe they're going to get well. And I've had that done, some of that stuff done, like when I had like a rotator or some knee problems from working out. They're, hey, you're hurt, you're aching. Well, we'll take you to this guy, and this guy will whisper, will do these whispering things on your wound or your aches. They'll rub it, put a little oil in it, and then they'll act as if they're taking this evil spirit out of your pain. Those are the things that occur that people don't really know about the Philippines. But Mike's brought it up like a few weeks ago.
Well,
Occasionally,
you have the babaylans, right? That's the famous part of the Philippines. The babaylans are the female shamans, right? And it's funny, like they can even be cross dressers too, but originally pretty much females, right? So that's the babaylans and stuff like that. There's a different term for them in the Visayas region, but babaylan is maybe for the long periods. Eventually that was taken out, but eventually that's what happens. There's going to be a cross things, where it's going to be Filipino, the culture, plus you can even say mysticism and the Christianity thing mixes up in the place of things. Like no difference. Like you go to Haiti, for example, right? Like they say in Haiti, it's 70% Catholics, 30% Christians, but 100% voodoo. So belief. So it's like, people need to understand how that works. And if it's within ingrained in the culture, you can't change it. You can just accept it and provide an option for people.
Especially
I'll tell you what, man. I'm sorry there, Just. When I was living in the Philippines as a kid in the 70s and the 80s, man, two things that was a surefire cure for me there, man. And Mike, you can attest to this, man. Vicks or Tiger Balm.
Are you talking about this Tiger Balm right here?
There you go, man.
I'm just saying, man. Don't fuck with my Tiger Balm, man.
Hey, man. They got the red stuff now, don't they?
Or white flour.
No. Red stuff is gonna it's gonna burn your skin. Don't do red. Always do the
white. Yeah. I did see the red before, man. I was like, and my mom kind of steered me. No, don't do that, Dave. But she could have been cruel about it. I was like, go ahead and do it.
Don't forget the white flour, salompas.
Yeah, I remember that one there too.
Yeah. Wait, white flour. I have the generic version from Thailand right now. Bam, baby. Right. It comes. This is when you know what's up, man. It's the inhaler. And then if you don't want to deal with the inhaler, you remove the thing in the bottom, and there's the white flour right there. And so then you have the oil. Like, come on now.
Dude, when I caught that bad fucking cold about a month ago, man. Here you go. This is what I use right there.
Vicks, baby.
Yeah.
But see, listen, I had a mosquito bite, and I wasn't talking about this. I never told anybody about this, but I had a mosquito bite literally like last week. And freaking, I had cellulitis. I had real cellulitis in my neck. It was, but I self-diagnosed myself. I was like, crap, cellulitis. I was like, because I scratched it, I guess, too much. And I was like, okay, let me go through my list. I had cellulitis, and when I said, okay, well, tomorrow I'm gonna go see my doctor now because I need something for this and stuff like that. I woke up the next day, my neck was like swollen, like bad. Like it was, and it was warm. It wasn't even like it was hot to touch. Like I knew I had cellulitis the night before, but when I woke up the next day, it was just swollen. I was like, I was like, doctor. Went to the doctor, got 2 doses of IVs. I was like, the doctor's like, I'm gonna give you something by mouth. I was like, no. You're gonna hit me with the IV for a double dose, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get my PO meds. That's what I did, and now it's back to normal.
Those are the things that occur. I mean, for that Vinny guy, you kind of feel bad for him, but the thing is,
yes.
Ray Jones. Ray Jones says Puerto Ricans have mixed in alcohol with
he's got to listen. I mean, the first thing he's got to do is he's got to head down there and put his feet on the ground over there.
Right.
Because if you don't do that, there's nothing you can do by doing these video calls or whatever he's doing, because basically you don't know what's going on over there firsthand. And then when he gets there, he's got to go up that mountain with somebody to guide him and talk to those people with somebody that can talk sense to these in that family and that group. And,
You're talking about the Marine there, right?
Yeah, that Vinny guy.
Okay, yeah.
And you know, where is it, like Samar? You know, I mean,
Yeah, somewhere, yeah.
There's other things that are occurring up in the mountains. You know, the FPA's up there, so who knows what's happening over there? There's another reason why they don't want to come down to these hospitals and all that stuff, because all those mountains. You know, I've always been taught, hey man, FPA up there. And then in the south, you get the MILS and you know, hey man, that stuff's going on. You know, with that latest one in Negros in the northern part, was it Escalante or whatever that place is, that they're up there. But the thing is,
right here, baby.
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
representing, man.
It's not just beach. I mean, you got the beaches, you got all that other stuff. Come on, man. The whole country's full of beaches. You know,
right.
The only thing you got to worry about is just don't disrespect the people. Follow the rules. You know, don't do the things you're not supposed to be doing in the U.S. or Canada or wherever you're from. Don't think you can do. It's like a free for all, like Daytona Beach during spring break. You know, because the bottom line is that you start acting up and thinking like you're some kind of hot shot, you're going to stand out. And nobody likes guys like that over there.
You know, I brought this up to the good doc when we met at Tequila Reef there, man. And I just summed it all up there, man. And I don't know, Doc, if you remember me saying this. I say, look, if you go in there with the fuckery, guess what? Fuckery's going to follow you there, man. It really is. They
don't realize there's a lot of these guys that, you know, they'll smile in front of your face. These maybe 120-pound guy, 110-pound, 5'5" guys, and all that other stuff. But when I talk to some of these guys, they don't like the way these guys are acting. You know, they'll smile in front of you, but when they're gone, and you know, they talk to me or you know all kinds of stuff. Hey man, you're different from those other guys. I go, of course, I'm Filipino. You know, so the thing is, like, man, they give you these stories. They go, that foreigner, yo, bastos, foreigner, no, you know, that kind of stuff. And it happened right in front of us one time during the election time. And we were at the 7-Eleven in Dumaguete driving from Bacolod about 5-6 hours. So we're trying to get, you know, 7-Elevens have the shoe house, you know, the pork buns and all that stuff. We were hungry.
7-Eleven shop house are the bomb.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
I don't know why. Like this is no joke. Every time in the Phils, guaranteed. You don't like it, Mike? Look, Mike. Like I'm sorry. I go get I get the, you know, because they have the two sizes. So so like this is how you get the red one, you know, the red colored dot one, because that's asado right there.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
You gotta have that sauce, man.
Yeah, I gotta ask you guys a question. I got to, you know, and this is a question for all three of you guys. What is the appeal with that whole Dumaguete area there? I mean, as a whole.
I only go shopping over there at the Robinsons. Okay. And I
understand there's a lot of expats over there, but what is the appeal?
There's nothing special about it.
Say again?
There's nothing special about Dumaguete. I mean, from what I've seen from, you know, growing up here and going constantly back over there, it's got like you know, the mall there, which is more convenient for people in the southern part of Cebu to go across the use a ferry to go there. Other than that, I believe Cebu's way better. You know, yeah, there's hardly any dogs running around wild, but as far as that,
I wonder why.
But and you know that Negros, you know, anybody into that chicken fighting, or that cockfighting, all that stuff, they won't allow any roosters into that, you know, from other areas into that island.
Really?
Yeah, they won't.
You got to protect the purity. It's the purity.
Where my parents live in the sticks, they live in Dila Santa Rita, Pampanga, and they got a cockfighting ring out there.
Oh,
arena.
they got them all over the place. They call it the
Yeah,
cockpit.
they got one out there, man. And my dad went out there and he donated money and whatnot. You know, I
It's
don't want to see he lost money. He donated money. You know, so I was like, well, I'm not going there. But
they call it the cockpit. The cockpit.
right, you know, but you know, I just wanted to know what's the appeal of it. I mean, why do it just seems like an influx of expats go over there?
Oh, Dumaguete.
You know? Right.
Well,
Well,
number one, this is my opinion. I think it's just because, you know, they've seen it from other people that they can find a future wife there or find girlfriends and stuff like that. But the thing though is the locals are not the ones that a lot of these foreigners are dealing with. It's the women are being, you know, imported from other islands,
Right.
and you know, and so, hate to say it to Vinny, but your girl's story is the same thing that happens in Dumaguete, Valencia area. They import them from Samar.
Mhm.
They come from Leyte and Samar.
Hey, I want to address Steve there. Calm down, Mr. Webb. You're not Jimi Hendrix. I never claimed I was Jimi Hendrix there. Okay, I'm a righty. He's a lefty.
He's talking about the feedback you were getting
Okay.
from.
Oh yeah, well, I guess so. Well,
Premier Mike.
Yeah. But no, Mike. I think that's a good question because I have to say we have never been to Dumaguete, and I often wonder what made Dumaguete popular to begin with. I haven't seen any beautiful beachfront in the city itself. In the city
Oh,
of
it's in the
Dumaguete.
middle, Mike. It's basically almost in the middle. I mean,
Yeah.
towards the east side of that, you know, basically we're facing that from Cebu. So you're only going to get.
Somebody needs to blog that shit because I've never seen in the city of Dumaguete. I've seen like outside of town, but I've never seen the city itself.
There's nothing special about it.
really. And that's the thing that I want to know. I mean, what's so special about it that
Nothing.
all these expats are going
So-
over there?
So
you know?
in from what I've been seeing, because what you have to understand is Dumaguete is technically a college town.
Silliman.
Okay.
So you have
Gotcha.
Silliman University, who's right behind Silliman University,
Gotcha.
is the water. You know, there's there's just the road and then the water. Like my mom is one of the first first 5-year graduating nurses from Silliman University. It's
Gotcha.
the first American foreigner based university in the Philippines. Like people need to also understand that Silliman is the first American, you know, academic type of university in the Philippines. So the thing though is you know how it is. Foreigners are like, let's go to where all the young girls are. But we also know for a fact that the same foreigners who said, "Ooh, there's young girls," they just want to stare at the young girls, but they never go for the university girls because they show me a foreigner who. Show me the average foreigner vlogger or that is with a university girl. Go ahead.
Yeah, not many.
None.
I only know two expats that are with university girls. They're both nursing students, and neither one of them are bloggers.
Okay,
Yeah,
Doc,
and they probably did not go into nursing until they met with their man.
One had just started, and the other one they were living together for about a year and a half.
Okay.
Doc, I got a question for you here, there, man. I know you live full time in Angeles City there, and I should have asked you this, last year, whatnot. What is it that about AC is more appealing to you in Arlen rather than the house that you have in I want to say Mindanao or somewhere out there? Okay, so what is it? What's the pros and cons of that one there?
Fair enough. Let me give you the cons of our house in the province.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Our market, there's not a refrigerator in it. There's no refrigerated section.
Wow.
Okay. We are an hour from refrigerated and frozen groceries.
Okay.
Number two, we're an hour from Jollibee. We're an hour from McDonald's. We're an hour from Burger King. Not that we would live on that, but it goes to show you that if Jollibee isn't where we live, nothing is where we, you know, remember what Mike was talking about at 7-Eleven, the show, whatever they're called. All right.
Showhouse. Right.
Showhouse. All right. That's fast food where we live.
Uh-huh.
The next thing is that there's no expat population. There's nobody that I can sit down with and discuss Iran, Iraq, Israel, China, Japan, all right? All of the current events of what's going on with Brexit back in the day and everything else. You don't have that outlet. In the smaller provinces, all right, the more remote you get, while Filipinos usually have a working understanding of English, they are highly intimidated by speaking it. They're afraid that they will say something incorrectly. So having a conversation in English, if my wife isn't around, it's usually like, hi, how are you? All right, do you want some Red Horse if it's a relative or something like that? It's a limited conversation. So the closest hospital, and it ain't that great a hospital, is an hour away. All right.
Gotcha.
So in Angeles, I have 2 good hospitals. All right. I wouldn't have heart surgery, but if I had to get a broken bone set or I had pneumonia or something like that, fine. All right. I have a diverse shopping variety for groceries, both imported and local. We have clean markets for vegetables. Now, I'm going to just admit the spoiled part of me. You know, Arlen does not buy meat at the market.
Right.
Okay?
Good.
I just don't, I won't eat it. But she buys fish at the market.
Right.
And she knows I'm not going to eat it. She's going to cook it outside. She's going to eat it herself. But we have amenities, much more amenities. I have a international airport 10 minutes, 15 minutes away.
Right.
I have medical. I have a large expat population. And there's stuff that we can do to keep us busy.
Okay.
So that's why.
Yeah, now,
Ju-
you know, my
Just fact, you live out there in the Philippines too, don't you?
you know, I go back twice a year.
Okay.
I'm not fully retired yet.
Okay,
I do
gotcha.
some work here, but yeah, you know, my town basically faces Negros, and
Okay.
it's like a little bunker boat away. So we're pretty far south from Cebu City. Cebu City's great, you know.
Right.
But the thing is, I don't know if it's the same. Well, we've been to Angeles City during an election too, but it's not as busy as Cebu. You know, Cebu is crowded.
Oh yeah.
And then the roads are smaller. I mean, Cebu was basically in the early days, like the Marcos, or even before that, was like I believe was like the model city. Okay, but ever since then, it hasn't evolved to the like the other cities like Iloilo, where they have wider streets. Manila, you know, they're the same. You can see some of the homes; they're basically on the road. You know, these people have homestead, and they're living on the side of the road, and they're doing these wide road widenings now. I mean, you'll see some of these videos when these guys are in Cebu by the seashore on those that national highway. People are cutting right in front of you, man. That's why there's a lot of guys like getting really hurt or killed in those tour vans, because these guys are hauling butt, you know, to get from the city to go to where the whale sharks are on the other side. And the thing is, some of these guys are just reckless. But the thing of what I like about it, and I'm sure Mike can attest to this, you're way away from the city. And the air is cleaner. We got waterfalls all over the place. well, basically we got lucky, we got blessed. We have property on the beach, and everybody knows us. And that like the market where there's no refrigeration. As far as the fresh meat, you know, only Thursdays you can get beef.
Right.
Over there at our town, and you sometimes you have a big party. You can tell the guy that's going to be doing the cow or whatever he's doing. Hey, you got to reserve it ahead of time. Because
Right.
they'll only do one cow or two cows in that town. And it's going to be only on Thursdays. And
Now,
as
Mike,
far as, yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, just facts. I'm sorry, but Mike,
Well,
if and when you do make that move to the Philippines, if you want to,
Mhm.
for retirement or whatnot,
yeah.
where can you see yourself living, either in the city or the province or whatnot there, man?
I see myself more a city, to be
Yeah.
honest. I mean, but
I can see
like,
that because, the Chicago thing there. I can see
like
that.
me, no, because I was a suburb guy a lot more in my older
Okay.
years. But I mean, I would say Antipolo would be a nice place for me in regards. I think that one.
Yeah.
Not, so it's just all depends. It doesn't matter for me. I mean, of course, having the dual now
Right.
changes.
And congratulations to that, man.
things.
Congratulations, man. Seriously.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
job.
Well, you have yours in August, right?
They're coming here in August, and
Okay.
I was talking to Joel Miyagi about this a couple weeks ago, maybe about 2 weeks ago, and he said something about getting some sort of PSA thing there. Yeah, you know what? You and I are going to have a FaceTime
Birth
talk
certificate.
about this, man.
It's
I'll get you
a
on
Yeah,
that.
we're gonna
the
have to.
birth certificate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I
I
have.
got that. I got
Yeah, I
that,
got my
and I
pop.
showed it to Mike too.
Yeah, I got my pop's birth certificate and my pop's green card, my pop's 3 passports.
Mhm.
His,
I got a lot of that stuff. I got
so
everything. I got everything that they needed, but I really want to talk to you about this on a face to
yeah,
face basis here. So
yeah, that's cool, man.
yeah,
Yeah, so I got my so it's funny, I was like laughing, I was like, getting the passport, but that should be coming, I think, this week, they said, after I got the email. No, but I mean, so that kind of changes things. If I want to buy land in a way, so like
right,
that's why I was like laughing, because I was even thinking about maybe I'll buy some land in Surigao for now, just because,
right, exactly, yeah,
right? Just,
right.
nicer. That's my thought. So
You can't
Yeah,
go
we
I know
went
wrong
back
with
and
that.
forth on that. We went back and forth on that there. Yeah,
yeah, I can't
but
go back to I can't go to Escalante. I can't live there. Uh, that's a different story for another time. But I mean, I can visit, but I'm not going to be living there.
right,
So it just all depends. But like, if I decide to, I even looked at some houses, like for example by San Fernando and
right,
Pampanga.
right.
There's some brand new houses over there for 20 mil,
I know. I think
right?
I know what you're talking about there, man.
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about.
there's a couple like there. It's not 20 mil max would be my thing, but I saw a couple between 12 13 to 15 to 20 mil in this city in San Fernando and stuff like that. Brand new homes, 5-6 bedrooms, swimming pool, 2 stories, a nice balcony and the top and
Right.
stuff like that. So for that price, that's not bad at all. Brand
Not
new
bad at all.
built, right? So and they you can just look it up in Lamudi and stuff like that, because that's where I was looking at. And I went to go see a couple of houses when I was there last, and just go to Lamudi and you can do some searches right there, and you can get some those for like $250,000-$300,000 home in the Philippines and stuff like that. Is some pretty nice homes,
Yeah.
But then at the same time, as there is that option. Do you go somewhere in the more provincial area, get some land, and for that 300, you can probably get the same type of house for 150, 175, maybe about 25-30% discount. But I mean, it just all depends,
Yeah, my parents, like I had told you, in the good doc there in Miyagi, they live in the sticks, and they built that house from the ground up there. They bought the land and they just built it from the ground. It's all one level and everything there, and they want to leave it to me eventually. When they make that transition there. I can't see my sister.
Your sister don't want it. She's like, I don't want to go back.
No, exactly. She got 2 kids. 2
I
teenage
ain't
girls.
going back.
And she's going back in November, man. She's going back in November. Yeah.
Well,
What's
that's
hard-
the thing. Like,
What's hard is that if you have kids,
I'm sorry.
What's hard is that if we have kids that grew up.
Well, Teresa, my sister, she hasn't been back there since we left in '84. I went back in 2019, and that was my first time back in 35 years. And I wanted to make it a yearly thing there, but COVID had happened, so I didn't go back in 20 or in 21. So I've been going back in earnest since 22 there. So 29, 22 last year. Then I'm going back again this year in December, be with them for a month or.
But a lot of times, a lot of times, I know this is that typically this is among Filipino men. We'll just say, or Filipinos that say, is that typically Filipino men don't mind going back to the Philippines. Filipino women who left the Philippines don't really go back to the Philippines unless they're going to visit their mom and dad. Like I know guys who really be like, leave their wives in the States and be like, well, I'm going to the Philippines to see my batchmates, whatever. And you know what's happening. Even
that's a lot. There's a lot of them doing that.
I can't say that about my sister though, man. I just, there's this thing called life, and life happened with her, and life happened with me.
Exactly, but that's what I'm just saying. It's like for her wise, it's not an option. It's just like, for example, like my sister and stuff like that, right? Yeah. Listen, I mean, like I remember like some of her classmates, back in it was like a lot of her classmates became models. So like what's his name? The guy who was the host of Wow Wow Wee.
Oh,
what's his name?
I know you're talking about.
Is it Willie Rebellion?
Yeah, Willie. Yeah,
Willie. Yeah. So his first wife was my sister's best friend.
Oh snap!
Yeah, like they went to the same school and stuff like that. She became a model. That girl became a model and stuff like that. So like I used to laugh about that stuff. But typically, like I said, my sister never wanted to go back to the Phils, and but now that her kids are growing up, now she's thinking about it because it's a purpose of that I want my kids to at least grasp that few percentile thing, because those little bastards, you ask them, what are you? What blood are you? They're like, just American. I'm like, well, what else do you have? You have Croatian in you. You have Chinese in you. You have Filipino. Like, why do we have to say that? Which I get, and I respect with those kids. So
unfortunately, I think the reason why my sister is going back with her daughters out there, well, my nieces know that Teresa is half black and half Filipina and all that, and they don't have any memories of mom going to Georgia and visiting them because they were just little girls. I mean, little girls. They never met their grandfather, number one, and of course they never met me. That's a totally different story right there. But I think Teresa, if it wasn't for my mother's condition, and Mike, you and I had talked about that. If it wasn't for my mother's condition, I don't think Teresa would have gone back there. I don't think, in my heart of hearts, I don't.
Well, everyone has, and that's the thing. Everyone has their reason and stuff like that, and that's where the problem is of like out of sight, out of mind. Sometimes, Sometimes when you're, and this is what even goes for relationships with the guys that are in relationships with Filipinas and stuff like that. Like, listen, you're not within close proximity to the woman,
right?
The relationship is not as solid.
Right. And I told just to the good doc and you, of course, the only reason why I went back is because of my the health scare that my mother had experienced back in 2019. I said, well, I got to get my shit together here, so there you have it,
I mean, like an interesting, for example, I think Corinne was here earlier on today. Filipino.
Oh, she was.
Yeah, she was. So she had an interview with a Filipina who owns a investigation company in the Philippines.
Okay.
Right. So, she asked the girl. She asked her, I'm like, who cheats more, men or women? Okay. And
I saw that interview. Yes.
The investigator was surprised, and the investigator says, "Well, now to be fair, she says that pretty much all her Not like I think 98% of her clients are men. So obviously these guys hire her because they suspect something happening already between their woman and someone else. But she stated that through her clients, 80%, if I'm correct, is what she said, 80% of when she actually investigates for a client to check on their Filipina, 80% of those Filipinas are actually cheating.
Yep. I did see that interview with the investigator there, man. And I was very, very shocked about that there.
But then, that's why they're hiring, because they already have suspicion. So then there's going to be a higher percentile that's what's going on there. So I mean, and this is where people need to understand. It's like, when the cat's not there, the mouse is going to play. And
Right.
it's like, it doesn't, this whole thing of conservative family oriented women. Yeah. There's, you have to pay attention. Women is women, men are men. And it's like, it's just the truth. And it sucks when you see it. It's like, and that's the thing, right? A lot of these foreigners are providing for these women. A lot of these foreigners are giving these women the world. A lot of these foreigners are giving these women, the attention. And then because they have the belief that if they provide for the women, but then if that's the case, why is it that most of the time is when the woman gets caught cheating, she's cheating with somebody who doesn't provide her money? It's no difference of what happens in the US. It's what can a guy make her feel good, And sometimes
exactly
it's not about the money. Like, it's just it's not because of their, some guys are gonna say, well, that's why Filipinos are this. I'm like, no, they're not. In the end, it's still about choosing the right woman. It doesn't matter if you're in freaking Dumaguete that you're going to find better women. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of Makati. And it doesn't even matter if you're in Angeles City, right? Because there's a lot of good women in Angeles City. But if you're finding them in the streets, well, I'm sorry to say.
You're going to get that street treatment.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Listen, man, tomorrow's my Friday at the hospital there. I got to go. We got a big
All right,
case
man.
scheduled for the weekend there, but I wanted to chime in. And, Mike, as always, thanks for having me there. Doc,
Problem,
good seeing
dude.
you there. Just facts, my man. Salute.
Yeah, it's
Take care, Dave.
12:20. I actually have to take my
too.
I have to take my damn pills.
Mike and Mike, you guys take care.
You take care, Just. Mike, I'm gonna have to go as well. Thank you so much for joining us. That was a great. But anyways, okay. I never really. This wasn't brought up before we go. How would you advise that Vinny guy to be able to convince his girl to get the treatment? Like, how would you do it?
I would tell you from experience that you have to be willing to accept what her response is going to be. I would first say, you know what, honey, we need a second opinion. That's the first thing. The second thing is something, we need to get a second opinion from a good source. In other words, a qualified women's health center. Some place that deals with these things. But even that is not going to change how she feels about what she was raised and culturally brought up in. I know that, I have conversations with Arlen, joking conversations all the time about the Aswang and the white lady. And she just knows I don't get it and that I can't prove it and that it's not there. But at the same time, I know in her heart, she still believes in part of it. I know she does. Even though she's educated, she's smart, she lived in the US, all of it. sometimes you can't change that culture, and then you have to learn to accept. Um, he said something. Vinny said something that really um, um, hit hard, and it's one of the hardest things that people like you and I run into. And it's, what are you talking about? Let her die. What are you talking about? Are you really saying that? It's not that we're saying that, it's that it's her decision, and you can't fight that. There are, something, Christina Applegate, married with children.
Oh my God, it's so heartbroken by her. She was like my first crush.
Yeah, you know what? Even as an old man, she was hot, let me tell you. But she had a choice. All right? She had a choice. And her choice was to have a double mastectomy. She could have had chemo. But no, she chose. And you know something? To this day, she would have died a long time ago if she had not had that double mastectomy. And so it's a little bit about what you learn to accept and the hard decisions in life. Is it really that much different? Hold on. That's interesting. Let's compare it to men and women getting divorced. I mean, you've got kids, you've got all of this stuff that you built, but you're going to fight it and keep it, or you're going to fight it and half it, or whatever. Some men stay in relationships that are very abusive and toxic just based on not knowing any better. And then some men bolt immediately. I mean, you look people like Calvin. All right. Calvin left everything. All right. I mean, not just the crack house. All right. But Calvin left his kids.
Oh God, yeah.
All right. That's what he said. He was going to die. I was afraid for my life.
Well, he didn't even get a divorce.
Well, yeah, that's true. That is true.
He really left. He walked
and I'm still trying to figure that part out. I swear to God, I think you're right. I think that was his wife on Judge Judy
Oh, he admitted it. He admitted it. He admitted it. Yes.
Oh my God.
He admitted it.
But either way, I think it's interesting. Can you put the link back up? I want to see if Yankee Man can cam up. He is a 30-something-year-old that might have something interesting Yankee Man is not to disagree. We're not looking for a disagreement. What we would like is your opinion on why you're thinking of leaving where you currently are. That is interesting. Because Mike, he's here.
Oh, he's in the Philippines. Good for him.
Yeah.
Well, where's he planning? He's leaving. He's planning to leave where he's currently at right now in the Philippines.
Yeah, because it's not his kind of city. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't catch all the comments, but Yankee Man lives in Manila. All right, and it's just not his type of town.
But it also depends on where in Manila you're living. So that's the problem, also, right? So, because the thing though is where people need to understand is there's Metro Manila and then there's Manila itself. So when you Metro Manila, it's multiple different cities. Are you in the Las Piñas area? Are you in the Quezon City area, Makati, where you are in the Metro Manila area, or are you in Manila itself? So it's it gets kind of confusing for some people. So it also depends where you are within Manila. I mean, if you live by Tondo, then yeah, get out. Get out now. It's so that's just,
well, I mean, that's a part of the issue. I mean, Arlen and I lived in Makati, and it just was not for us. Yeah. Well, you know what? It may have been for Arlen, maybe, but it certainly wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy living in Makati. I really
Yeah.
and truly did not.
Yeah, there's certain, it's like, it's like even places that I like, sometimes you're just like, it's like when you turn the wrong corner, you're just like, why am I here? Like, it's like, I don't, so I don't get it as well sometimes. So, I mean, it takes a particular person that's going to enjoy it. And just I mean, like, I like the San Fernando Pampanga area, honestly. I mean, I really like the San Fernando Pampanga area. I think it's a nice, and then as they're slowly going to start making build outs, between San Fernando and the city, it's and the main city and stuff like that. There's going to be some really good housings to be purchased. I think within the next 5 years, there's going to be some great houses to purchase or have it built and stuff like that. That people are going to take advantage of it. So I mean, it just all depends.
I think there will be. I think as the train finally gets finished, things will happen. We're going to see. People don't recognize that the Philippines is growing
Oh yeah.
in infrastructure also, even though we have horrible traffic, even though we have horrible mass transportation, even though we have horrible infrastructures, the Philippines is trying to do something about it. And every little bit that they do, it improves a little bit. And every time they improve a little bit, the whole thing improves. And at some point, you reach critical mass where the improvements start to come very rapidly.
Because there's going to be a demand. Once people start putting the demands in, and then there's going to be that moment. It's going to be a sudden change. But I mean, what's happening in Pampanga within the next 10 years from, I've seen some of those building plans, a lot of those infrastructure changes that they're planning to do in the Pampanga area. I think it's a good place eventually to, to open up. But then at the same time, there is a risk that if those growth happens in a good, positive way, there is going to be a high risk that Angeles City as a man's Disneyland is no longer going to be.
But that's okay. That's fine. All right. It wouldn't
for you.
Yeah,
for you, it's fine.
It wouldn't bother Arlen and I in any way. But at the same time, Mike, all right, there's plenty of that type of entertainment in Chicago. There's plenty of that type of entertainment in LA. Even still to this day in San Francisco. There's plenty of that type of entertainment in every major metropolitan area. It may not be Walking Street. It may be a different street. There will always be that outlet. They
will just have to move it. They would have to move it or make it scattered, where it's and I don't think it's gonna just disappear from Angeles City, but it's just gonna get removed from where it's obvious what's going on in certain areas. So I mean, so I mean, I think that it just, it's. I honestly think, like, this is my honest opinion. Within the next 5-10 years, I think Pampanga area is a good bet for people if you want to move to the Philippines. Just don't get sucked in the nightlife. Even if and I guess that exists anywhere else in the world that you go or anywhere else in the Philippines. Just don't get involved where you need to be there. Like, it's like, that's my opinion on that.
I was at dinner the other night and talking to one of my best friends who is just an absolute man whore. Okay? I mean, that's just the best word you can use for it.
He's a Moor.
He's a Moor. Okay? But he lived in Vegas for like 14 years or something like that. Then lived in Thailand. He retired to Thailand, I guess, about, I think, like 4 or 5 years. Then he came to the Philippines. He's been here about 4 years. And he told me in all the years that he lived in Vegas, And for those of you that have ever been to Vegas, like pre 2010, when they called it Sin City, it was Sin City in the hallway of your hotel. Okay. You didn't even have to go to the street. And he told me, he said he never got involved in that. None of it. And he gave me all the different reasons why he would go back to Vegas. And none of them had to do with gambling or adult activities. None of it. Now, granted, he's in his 60s now. All right. He's actually older than I am. But it's still there. It's all still there. And I think that you're right. Now, I hear that brings up a different question, though, Mike. What happens as Angeles becomes, or in the Angeles Pampanga area, becomes more popular than it is? What happens to the pricing of the lifestyle here?
It's all over the moment that train gets done.
I
So here's the thing. Like I said, by now, because when that train finally gets smacked to start running, okay, once that train gets smacked in, then it's over. The prices, what's up, man? The prices are going to go sky high. Things are going to get expensive, and people are going to be complaining. So if you that's pretty much my assessment on that. What's going on, man?
Hey, not much. I just wanted to say I appreciate your discussion tonight. I've been pretty entertained out here by it, so I thought it was pretty informative for the most part, especially with what you said to that guy Vinny before. You gave him some tough love, like I said, you said. I mean,
it was tough love Mike gave him. It's not quite the extreme bedside manner I had, but he got the point across very quickly. And Vinny just needs to understand. He's sometimes shit just doesn't work the way you want it to work. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, unfortunately. So you want to live? Where in Manila are you, man?
so without giving my exact location away, I'll just say I'm in Makati, closer to Pasay.
Okay.
Right.
So why don't you like it there?
How do I say this? I think it's a little too. I think it's a little too seedy for me.
Ooh,
And I've been to Manila before.
Are you by P. Burgos area right now?
No, not at all. I'm on the
Okay.
I'm on the opposite side of town.
Okay. I'm just saying.
The
'cause you started
opposite
saying
side of
seedy.
Makati. I'm not.
So
there.
you're the other side of the waterway.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Well, so the water. So you cross the line. So you're still pretty good. Okay, I know where it's at. Okay, I can figure out where you're at.
So when you say it's a little bit too seedy, are you talking about a poverty type issue, or are you talking about an adult entertainment activities issue?
Adult entertainment, mostly.
All right. Now, I mean, we lived in Makati, but we did live rather close blocks away from P. Burgos. All right. But I didn't realize I mean, is it blatantly open? What you're talking about?
No, I don't know about blatantly, but you can put two and two together if you've been here long enough. Not even long enough. If you even remotely know the scene.
So how long have you lived there?
I mean, I'm still rather new, a couple months now here, but I've been informed for a number of years, and then this is not my first time in Manila either, but this stint has been a few months.
Okay, so where are you thinking might be a better location?
That's the $1 million question, honestly. I can't surely tell you yet. I really don't know.
No.
I'm trying to figure that. I'm trying to figure that out. To be honest, what I do know is I like the the people of the Philippines, but I don't know where my place in this country is yet.
So it's possible your place may not be in the Philippines.
It's possible for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And are you from the U.S.?
Yes.
Whereabouts, if you don't mind me asking, just a general.
Without giving my exact location away, I'll just say Northeast U.S.
Northeast. Okay, great.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can certainly. I don't think Mike would live in Makati or BGC just for the crowding and everything else.
I would visit. I mean, like I'll do Quezon City, Antipolo, even Cubao, maybe, Las Piñas and stuff like that. But I wouldn't be directly in BGC. I want to be outside of it, but still be able to visit it. I won't be. Yeah, I can't do that. Makati. It depends on what part of Makati and stuff like that. Like, there's some parts of Makati that I like. Just all depends. And so even like for example, the triangle of death, we'll say in P. Burgos. Okay, so there's that triangle, right? That happens. So right by there, I wouldn't be in the triangle, but I'll be in the outside parts because there's like a nice couple there. That area is starting to grow now, where they're removing a lot of those seedy bars, we'll say. And so like you got places like Agimat and stuff like that, which is a nice bar. You have Buccaneers. That's a pretty nice bar to go to enjoy some stuff with drinks. I mean, there's starting to be some spots that they're slowly building out there. So Makati's still nice. It is what it is. That's my thing. It is what it is.
I think this whole city is kind of like that, to be honest. It just is what it is. It's really hard to escape it, even in BGC, because I'll just tell you guys, I'm a young guy, so I still go out once in a while to even try to go to a regular club once in a while. It's still hard to avoid.
Yeah, you can say that it was Soho before it became Soho, like in New York, right? So at first,
exactly.
there's some gentrification that needs to happen a little bit first to kick out the bad seeds and stuff like that. They're closed down already. Several bars that are not existent no more from the early 2000s or mid 2000s anyway. So, I mean, it's perfectly fine. It's just up to you. I mean, have you tried going to Cebu and see if you like it there instead? Because I'm guessing you like city. So
I've heard a couple of suggestions about Cebu. Mainly the reason why I'm in the city is more for like resources, like conveniences, groceries, Uber stuff, internet connection, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm a little insecure about going to like an island, particularly for internet connection. That's very important to me.
So you're a digital nomad, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Something there. Okay.
I don't want to get much further into that, but
I'm gonna suggest day trading, but I mean that's just me to be thinking. But so Cebu City would work well for you. I would say, maybe go into depends on, I don't know what the cost that you need to put yourself under. And I hate to plug in this place all the time, and even Miyagi just plugged it in for me. I would say Quezon City, you should go.
I've been thinking about that actually. That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, I would say Quezon City. There's faster ways to get. The grab system in Quezon City is a lot faster. There's less competition. You can get easy stuff. Restaurants are all over there. You don't have to deal with those people that are trying to solicit stuff for you in the streets. Really, not unless you're over there by Pegasus. So I would think honestly, if I were you, I would look. Are you doing monthly on your rental right now, or how are you situated with your Airbnb? I'm guessing you're Airbnb-ing it.
Not really. I'm using Agoda mainly.
You need to switch away from Agoda and do Airbnb. If I were you,
I have my reasons not to use it. I just don't like Airbnb that much.
Okay, that's fine. But Agoda's first choice always for me for hotels. But I mean, you can also get Airbnb type locations in Agoda anyways as well. So that does exist within Agoda. So
I understand what you're saying though. There's definitely less selection once you get outside Airbnb. I just don't really like the company itself.
So that's fine. So I would look into, honestly, do Quezon City if I were you. There's a lot, like look for some places close to ABS-CBN, right? There's ABS-CBN, which is the TV network. There's several condos over there that exist. Look up. Try to stay within. The Tomas Maroto and Timog area. There's a lot of condos in the far parts of those, and you're easy access for everything. Not unless you want to go close to the mall. That's something that you can look into as well. Yeah, so if pretty much Manila Makati's not doing well for you, I would say go to Quezon City. I think that you would have a better time over there. If one thing that's annoying you is unfortunately the people of the night walking and bothering you. So I mean, that would be my suggestion if city's important for you as well.
See, I thought it's I really like having a panel with somebody like Yankee Man on. He's young, he's making a living. He's not here just for. I'm not saying why you're here, but it's obviously not just for chasing skirts. And at the same time, it's a mature adult decision saying, you know, I have reasons for not liking this, and this is why. And that's why the panel and this chat and Mike's channel often works so well. Listening to and hearing from people like you, you know, what it is that drives you to be what you are. I think those are important facts.
Yeah. So so Miyagi was talking about. Miyagi said the M place triangle. So okay, so I'll be honest. Okay, that's right. The ABS-CBN M place is a beautiful condominium. It's 2 condominiums that are 2, I believe. Yeah, and so really good deals over there. Really good rentals, but that is where a lot of the I will just say how would you say the other woman gets housed by their men sometimes, but it's still a fun place. Starbucks there is beautiful.
I get what he's going with.
So pretty much that's the word. The side chicks live there. A large amount of side chicks live in the M place. So, but they're decent human beings that they just, every now and then they have to give it up, but they don't work the streets really. They're good people.
Part timers. I think that's where you're going.
No, not old timers. These are side chicks. Yeah.
No, like part timers.
Yeah, part timer side chicks.
Gray area.
They're aspiring models, as we call them.
There we go.
Yeah, that's what they are, and that's what they're going to tell you. What do you do for work? I'm an aspiring model. Sure, that's what Miyagi will say. That's good for you.
I might start using that now, if you don't mind. That's a good one.
What?
Like the aspiring model, so to speak.
That's what they say. If you look in their Instagram, it says model. Most of these girls, that's an influencer model. You're a model. But it is what it is. But anyways, guys, listen. It's 12:47. I'm about to get out here. Yankee, well, you're welcome anytime that you're welcome to come on anytime and next time and stuff like that. Also,
yeah, man.
For a lot of you guys out there, if you guys don't know, make sure you guys go check out our Philippines journey with Mike and Arlen. Make sure you guys stop by there when he does his lives as well and videos and everything. So, anyways, thanks to Dave for coming up. CD Morrison came up as well. Thank you so much as well. I guess it is for now. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming aboard. Mike, Yankee, thank you.
Bye-bye.